Welcome, everyone, to VSN Sports presentation of Thursday Night Lights tonight here in Brawley, California at Warne Field, where the Brawley Wildcats will be taking on the Canyon Hill Rattlers out of San Diego section. Alongside me tonight is Will Torrez.
Ron, good to have you back in the driver's seat now. Welcome, everyone. Like Ron said, we're looking at a beautiful evening on a Thursday night. Ron, one thing about these Thursday night football games, they're actually kind of exciting. You get everybody watching you on a Thursday.
Yes.
This is an early start, though. There was some issues with the team from Canyon Hills, which was Sarah before.
Yes.
And they wanted to get the kids back early, so this game started a little bit earlier. It's going to start in a couple of minutes. We got we're about 7 minutes away, but no less. That's what we're used to now with the shortage of referees, Ron, and just scheduling. So welcome, everyone. Like Ron said, it's going to be a good night of football. This is Brawley's first home game.
Brawley's first home game after a 14-0 victory versus Valley Center on the road last week. This is Brawley's second game. This will be Canyon Hill's third game. And the visitors from the Central League, that includes Claremont, Hoover, the San Diego Cavers, and Kearney. They are 0-2, sitting at the number 64 in San Diego section. They're ranked number 15 in Division III. Their losses come to Santana, which was 40-21, the opening loss. And then last week they lost 55-0 to El Capitan. On the Brawley side of things, Brawley is 1-0, as we said, coming off a 14-0 victory versus Valley Center. This is Brawley's second game. As people who know, the Brawley's opening game, Scripps Ranch, was delayed due to hurricane.
Postponed. It is scheduled. I think it's going to be
in the 29th of September.
Correct.
So this is Brawley's second game. And as we said, Brawley, on the ranking side of things, they are number 23 in the San Diego section, and more importantly, number 7 in Division II. So that's the tail of the tape right now. Like we said, it's going to be a warm day, muggy day. Definitely home field advantage for the Wildcats. And, looking across the field, that's a pretty good-sized football team out there, Will.
Yeah, and one thing, Ron, we take a look at, I had the opportunity to check out the Wildcats when they played that scrimmage at Morse High School against El Cap High School. Now, El Cap looked big and physical, your typical El Cap team. So the Wildcats were down, around halftime, and I can't remember the score, but they were down by a touchdown or 6 points. What I found that was very promising for these Wildcats, Ron, they were able to come back against what I thought was a very physical team. Okay, now the question arises, is El Cap good, or they weren't that good? Is the Wildcats are good? So that's for people to make their own judgment. But I will tell you this, El Cap got some votes for the first place team. So to be in the top 10 in division, I believe they're going to be Division III. So El Cap looking pretty good. So that just goes to show me that I think the Wildcats are going to be a team to deal with, when they played the El Cap tough.
Well, we're going to rewind just a little bit here on my partner's situation, talking about El Capitan, who did beat Canyon Hills. Brawley played Mission Bay at the scrimmage. And here's a story let's keep Mission Bay intact. Mission Bay, in their opening game, beat University City 28-21, I believe. So, but to add validity to what you were making a statement is, Mission Bay knocks off University City, who beat Brawley pretty good last year, right here at Warne Field. However, that being said, hey man, Mission Bay was a physical team. You saw that quarterback; he was 6'4", 6'5".
Yes.
The guy, and they were not a small. Physically, they're bigger than this team that we're looking at right now in the white uniforms and red helmets. So that being said, Will, you were on point as saying, okay, you know how it goes. You're trying to match, Brawley's first game. This is their third. This is Brawley's second game. This is their third game. El Capitan is no joke in the San Diego section. And that's, folks, who out there, what you need to do is, since Brawley and the Imperial Valley teams are in the San Diego section, you should look into max preps and every now and then just take a peek at division, or just type in any high school out there, and you'll see the standings and whatnot, the rankings that we go with. However, these do lead up to interesting matchups, Will. They sure do.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an interesting night. Let's look at the other side of the ball. Let's look at the sidelines for a moment. Tell us a little bit about the coaching staff. A unique situation everybody's well aware of. Brawley being one of the dominant schools here in Imperial Valley, there's some changes happened this year. Explain a little bit on that, Ron.
The big transition was, and it's no secret, John Self retired after a great career at Brawley High, was the leader of the program for a while. John decides to retire. In comes a search for a head coach to become coach, and they settled on co-head coaching status for Rick Rubio and Ray Van Diver, and so far so good. 1-0. It's going to be as we always said in football. It's a week-to-week business. So let's see how the boys do tonight. But it's right now they're keeping things going, keeping the program afloat. And like we said, you're as good as your last game. So if you're going to go with that statement.
As we take a look on the field right now, Brawley has some activities going on prior to the kickoff. Joining BUH High School from the Desert Valley High School Renaissance will be Andy Magana, Albert Padilla, Danny Tombach, and Gigi Wells. They will be out on the field today for the coin toss and be recognized prior to tonight's game. And also is Leslie Van Deerlin. She was not only BUHS, she was 2023 ACSA Teacher of the Year for Imperial County.
Nice.
So congratulations to Leslie. That's one of the things that BUH here wanted us to announce. And in addition to the following teachers were also recognized in the field that is Allison Carrillo, Esteban Corona, Irene Escobar, Renee Gray, Cindy Hardy, Amanda Lyon, Adrian Magana, Sherry Newell, Austin Ortega, Pamela Padilla, Dina Self, one of our favorites, Israel Rico, and Grace Tombach. So congratulations. As you see them right now out in the field right now, you see the teachers. You see the teachers out on the field right now as they're being recognized and introduced to the crowd out here. So congratulations once again to all those teachers.
It looks like it's a Hawaiian theme tonight with the leis and whatnot.
Yeah, what's pretty cool, and not just Brawley, but we saw it at Central last week where ASB is really turning it up a notch. They're really turning it up, and it's not only that. You got the flag football girls, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
You got the ASB having contests. Who's the best? I just think it brings the school spirit out.
School spirit is the whole thing, and there's no sport in high school sports that brings it out more than football. I mean, I may be prejudiced about that, but it's the truth. I mean, this is when the start of the school year. It's a whole new school year, new season, and your football team represents your school and your community. Go Wildcats and go Rattlers tonight.
Yeah, and, with it being Brawley's first game, we should be expecting a good crowd. The band's already here. The ASB was here early. And we realize it is an early start as we feel it up here, especially on this type of night. But it looks like, and when I say cooling down, Ron, we're talking about 100 degrees. So not bad for us Desert Rats.
Not bad, not bad. I was talking to the coaching staff of Canyon Hills, and I asked them what do they think about the heat, and they said, well, you know what, they've never experienced anything like this. And I said, well, you should have been here 2 days ago or yesterday. It really would have had. So however it is, that's what's at stake right now. You're playing in the weather. It's just like if we lived in the Midwest or back east, cold weather.
Yeah.
We're desert people. Our community is in the desert. What do you expect?
And we'd like to take a minute right now to thank some of our sponsors. Can't go without saying hello to Big Chris at Top Notch Barber, where fresh shades are always a cutaway. Visit Top Notch Barbershop at 317 Wake Avenue in El Centro for one-of-a-kind haircut. RDO, sponsor of our Player of the Game. One of the great ads that we added this year. They upped their sponsorship and helping out VSN. Glad for them to be part of the VSN sponsorship family. That's RDO. Minimize your downtime, protect your equipment investment. Stop by our Imperial headquarters located at 37275 Highway 86. Nothing runs like a deer. One of our other new sponsors, Ron, and we're proud to have them on here, is the Brawley Police Foundation.
Right on.
Join the Brawley Police Foundation to support a safe community through partnership with police. Our goals include canine support, technology, youth program, crime prevention. So for more information, you can always follow it at Brawley Police Foundation for more information as we get ready for our national anthem right now.
VOHS marching band. Please remove all caps, please.
Ron, that just never gets old
Never
right
gets
there.
old,
Never
never
gets
gets
old.
old.
Get the goosebumps. So, once again, while we have an opportunity of this, let's point out our officials for tonight's game. Head referee will be veteran Gene Martin with the white hat. In the middle, it looks like we have
Mike Garcia.
that's Mike Garcia. On the Brawley sidelines will be Bentley. And on the far-fetched side will be, that looks like Mr. Sal Carrillo, if you ask me. Good crew out there. Looking for a good game as we get the captains ready to go. Ronnie, I have a question. We see the Brawley Wildcats in their new uniforms. What's your thought on that, Ron?
You know, I'm not a very fashionable guy. You know, I wear clothes that are from 4 or 5 years ago, and you know, they look the same to me. But they are the blue, traditional blue and gold of Brawley. And tonight's captains are number 7 is J.D. Jonathan Arianes is one of the captains. So is Brandon Porras. That would be number 4. Number 8, Matthew Gutierrez. And number 31, Chris Camilo. Yeah, the uniforms look pretty slick as Gene Martin is getting ready for the coin toss. We'll get to the captains of the Rattlers. And here's a funny thing about uniforms these days. A lot of the kids now, a big emphasis for the referees is cover your knees.
Yeah, Ron.
I just don't get it why these kids would love to have their knees exposed. And the reason I point that out is because I would give you the numbers to the Rattlers, but tucking in the jerseys underneath the shoulder pad.
Yeah, it's look. The rule states that there should be no pad showing. So even the back pad, that lower part, that can't even be showing. I mean, it's going to show, but you just got to tuck it down. But you're right. Ron, I wanted as many pads as I could wear.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Right.
We were in that line. I want a pad.
I'll take a pad. I'll take a bigger pad.
Ron, talk about some of the veterans we're talking about. When you mentioned number 31, Chris Camilo, he was one of our VSN Players of the Year last year. He's been up here since his freshman year, and to be honest with you, Ron, we've been calling their names for 4 years now. This is part of that group of kids that pre-COVID, when COVID hit, and they go, you know what? We're not going to have the freshman or JV squad. Let's just get everybody on the varsity level. Right. And these kids have been on the varsity for 4 years, Ron.
You know, Chris Camilo is one of them. I think he's the only senior of that group that came up. And if you go back to the junior class, you're looking at Matthew Gutierrez and Matthew Moreno. So these kids have been on varsity ever since they were freshmen. They never saw the freshman level. They never saw JV level. So all they've been living is a varsity life. And, you know, it's what they're doing now, their success is because of being in the program, and also, you know, they're talented kids. I mean, you just don't bring up an average kid up to varsity, especially at a freshman. I mean, you and I talked about that. I mean, man, let me tell you something. Well, I know as a freshman, I would not want to be a varsity football player, weighing 105 pounds and all, you know. But
well, as we take a look, Gene Martin just signaled to us that Canyon Hills deferred to the second half. Brawley will receive the opening kickoff. They will be on the east side of the field. So, Ron, man, good to have you back.
Well,
good
I'm glad to be back. I've been counting the days. I think it's been 278 days since we've been Palo Verde. Watched the Palo Verde and Muir game or Pasadena.
Yeah, that was the semifinal state championship there. So good to have you back in your absence, of course. People have heard him. Coach Swearingen was here. Hopefully he's watching. He should be watching.
He's taking notes and critiquing. Go ahead, Coach. We need it. I'll talk to you tonight.
And that's just a reminder, VSN North, which consists of Ronnie I and Joaquin, Saul Peña, and Sarah, we will be tomorrow night at Imperial Simpson Shimamoto Field watching the Tigers host the Cibola Raiders tomorrow night. And that game tomorrow, Ron, where this game was a 6:30 start, that game will be a 7:30 start. So as we get ready to –
I'm not a weatherman, meteorologist or anything, but what does 1 hour difference mean to you?
Well,
6:30 to 7:30 in degrees.
Well, I'll tell you where it affects us a little bit. We have had some issues with rain. Fortunately, tomorrow our equipment is indoor, so that's a big plus. That's a big plus because at least we can set up and know that our equipment will not get rain. We are supposed to. There's a 50% chance.
Really?
But at 3 o'clock, it's going to rain. By 6 o'clock, it's just going to be cloudy. So we are good to go. Barring changes to the weather, how everything goes. All right, number 17 kicking off for the Rattlers there, Ronnie. That is Joseph Yaskowski.
We'll go with Yankowski. Deep to receive is J.D. Arianes, number 7. It goes straight to Arianes. Arianes picks it up at the 10, trying to get some blocks. He bounces it out to the left, and he may take it. He may go instead. So J.D. Arianes with a good return for the Wildcats. Looks like they'll be spotting it at the 40, right shy of the 40-yard line. They're going to spot it, right at the 40. So the Wildcats with a good starting position on their first possession, Will.
We talk about Chris Camilo being the defensive player for VSN of the year, VSN Player of the Year last year, one of our all VSN players. But he just showed right now how valuable he is on the kickoff team. He was a lead blocker. They got extra 10 yards on that kickoff return.
Well, here's an interesting thing for the Wildcats and you fans to check out for the Wildcats. That's an all-new starting offensive line right there. Not one of those kids there was a starter on the varsity. Give is to Richardson. No. Gutierrez keeps. Gutierrez to the 45, to the inside. Rattler territory all the way up to maybe. The spot will be at the 46-yard line of the Rattlers.
Now, the Rattlers don't look too small up in front, but Gutierrez looked like he should have been at least tackled back about 5 yards. He was able to get 10 yards on that play right there.
Well, that's the whole thing about that read. He really faked me out. I thought he gave to Richards, but instead he kept the ball. So it's a 1st and 10. Ball is this play, let's say the 47-yard line of the Rattlers.
That's what happens when you have a linebacker playing at the quarterback position. Yes. Awesome. I love it.
Gutierrez set to throw. It's wide open. That's Porras. Porras is going to take that, cuts back. Go. Porras will walk in for a touchdown. So Porras, Gutierrez to Porras on a quick out. Leads to a 47-yard touchdown with 11:37 remaining in the first quarter.
Well, that was a prime example of poor tackling right there.
And you know what? You kind of, in the early parts of the season, first 2, maybe 3 games, you can expect poor tackling because you've been beating up on each other for so long. And now sometimes you got to get it together on defense and make some tackles. So set to kick will be – now Brawley has an interesting setup for their kicking game. In to kick, the extra point will be number 22, Manuel Urbano. The deep snapper will be Connor Kotnick. Connor Kotnick is 53. He is a sophomore. Holding the ball looks like Brandon Porras. And as I said, number 22 is Manuel Urbano. 11:37 remaining in the first quarter. Urbano set, he kicks, and it looks like it is good. So with that being said, the Wildcats have a 7-0 lead with 11:37 in the first quarter.
And VSN will be right back after this.
Back at Warne Field, 11:37 remaining in the first quarter. Wildcats, 2-3 play drive maybe? Wildcats take it down, 7-0 lead. Set to kick will be, the kicker will be Diego Padilla.
That was just an impressive first drive for the home
Bang,
team.
bang, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that little, read by Gutierrez, faking to Richard, to Zane, and hits it off real quick to. So here's a similar to the Wildcats. They do have skilled players at the skilled spots, and that's very important. Set to kick is Padilla. Padilla, little pop up there, taken by number 20, fumbled by number 20. Trying to find a place to go. Looks like a tackle there by number 9. So that was number 20. That was Hassan Baines, tackled by number 9.
Alex Valdez coming in there for that tackle, placing the ball on about the 24-yard line, Ron.
Ball's at the 24-yard line.
So right away, Ron, it's easy to read that this team has not played together, or maybe they're a week or two. Like something's not syncing because the Wildcats look way, not way. I won't know. I won't go as far as saying is way more advanced. They just look a little bit more polished than the Rattlers do.
Well, that's just a difference in coaching, I would say. I mean,
Yeah.
their Division III Brawl. Here's a give to number 20. That looks like Valdez on the tackle. The give was to number 20. That was Baines, tackled by Alec Valdez. Yeah, so a loss of maybe 1, second down and 11. Ball's placed at the 23-yard line. So it's a difference in coaching philosophy. I mean, I'm not too sure, not know the history of Canyon Hills. They were Sarah last year.
So
I'm not too sure if that affected anything on the name change. But it's a program that looks like it's on the
building up program.
Yeah, trying to build it up.
Yeah, and that's true, Ron. The only thing this roster doesn't have is the grade these kids are on. Or else, it's one of those teams where you see where there's a lot of young players and they're building up the roster, which happens to a lot of teams. It's not unheard of.
And that's another sack there. That's the quarterback.
Camilo in for the
Louisville team.
tackle. But that just looked like a little miscommunication back there, Ron. And Camilo being able to get back in there and actually get them back for a loss. That'll be counted as a sack. Chalk one up for Camilo there
and here's the deal. I was just notified by Jaden Fong that Canyon Hills is not Division III. They're Division IV.
Okay, so this game's going to benefit Canyon Hills no matter what happens here because they're playing up a division. So it's going to be type of matchup where.
Well, if you're 3rd and 19, I don't care what division you are, you put yourself in quite a hole. So here, empty backfield. You got 3 receivers to the upstairs. Looks like a flag on the field. Tackled by Camilo on that scramble. Assisted by Matthew Moreno, 23. That was an empty backfield. You had trips on the left side of the quarterback and 2 receivers to the right.
So
what was the call, Will?
The penalty is going to be holding against the Rattlers, and good call. It's going to make it 4th down. They actually lost a yard on that run, so definitely punty formation, punty situation. And not only, it's good to see both sides of the ball with the Wildcats run when you have the offense clicking in tune, and then you have the defense backing it up and not letting them get a first down, and even more to say that actually, make them lose an average right now of about 8 yards.
Right, so on that possession, -8.
-8 yards,
so
yeah.
-8 yards lost. Back to punting, I would assume is number 9 or 8. I'm not too sure. Tyler Fogg, I think. That's Tyler Fogg. Tyler Fogg gets the punt off. It'll roll. Takes a bounce at the 50. And that is number 12 for the Wildcats.
This lets it bounce, and the Wildcats are going to get excellent field position here, Ron. The ball.
And I think we have a mistake on that's Damian Clemente, number 12. So number 12 is Damian Clemente. He's a junior.
Okay, I don't even have a number 12
yeah,
on here.
and it is number 12. I can tell by the kid way he walks. Anyhow.
See, and then on the Wildcats right here, I have.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, second possession of the night. It's 8:53 remaining in the first quarter. We'll say the ball's at the 47-yard line. Wildcats kind of in a tight set with two receivers on top to the right of Gutierrez. Single back looks like Moreno. In motion is Sabalos. The pitch to Sabalos. Sabalos to the left. Sabalos trying to get around the corner. And he's going to be brought down by number 13. Number 13 is Jacob Lee, inside linebacker, senior for the Rattlers. Good tackle, but after a gain of, let's give him, let's say 6 on that. 2nd down and 4. Ball's right outside the 45-yard line. We'll give him the 44. 46. I really cannot tell. They need to get that marker up there, 50-yard line. They're at the 46. Left hash. Wildcats now in a double set. That means 2 receivers on both sides. Single back is Moreno. Rattlers showing blitz. Torrez shoots it out. 2 receivers on both sides. That's number 21. That looks like Gilbert Valenzuela. Number 21, the tight end. Complete.
And number 2, Adam Sabalis. Now, Ron, that's not correct right there. They were able to overcome that mistake because it's never planned to have 2 receivers in the same spot. But lucky for the Wildcats, they were able to turn that into a 1st down, Ron.
It looked like one of them said, "You catch it."
The Sadu catches?
So here it is. So that play was good enough for a 1st down. Ball is at the 35-yard line. Trips to the right. That's 3 receivers to the right of Gutierrez. Single back is Moreno. 7:37 remaining in the 1st quarter. Gutierrez back to throw. Gutierrez looking, throws deep. That's Brandon Porras, and Porras is going to go in for a 35-yard touchdown. So Porras, 2 for 2 on catches, man. 2 for 2 touchdown. Well, 7:27 remaining. Wildcats 13, Rattlers 0.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ron. The protection that he has, number 54, that's David Kim. Number 61, Joe Lopez. I mean, for Porras to just have the ability and time to throw the ball, you end up there with number 78, Alejandro Cota. That front line is giving him plenty of time to look for his receiver. And not only that, Ron, the receiver was wide open. You better hit him on that.
Wide open. And, and we got to give, so as we said, Urbano in to kick, number 22 for the Wildcats. Giving him time to throw is Alejandro Cota. And we have a penalty, illegal procedure on the Cats. And one thing I noticed, Wildcats have a little bit of special teams
communication,
like guys coming on, coming off. So let's get back to that offensive line for the Wildcats. Alejandro Cota is a starting offensive tackle, number 78. We have Joe Lopez. Joe Lopez is a starting guard. Jacob Padilla is the starting center. He is a sophomore. Omar Torrez is a guard. He's a senior. And David Kim is the other offensive tackle, and he is a senior. So they're going to back that up 5 yards, Will.
Well, talking about the offensive line, Ron, I've had the opportunity to see 3 of the lines. I've seen Imperials, I've seen Centrals, and now I'm looking at Brawley. And those are the top 3 programs in Imperial Valley right now. So when you take – and it starts right there. And and I'll tell you what, when it comes down to size, I think Imperial and Central might have the advantage on that. I'm not talking ability, Ron. I'm just talking size.
Well, Urbano, with even the 5 yards, backed it up. Urbano knocks it through. So with 7:27 remaining in the 1st quarter, we have the Brawley Wildcats 14, Canyon Hill Rattlers 0.
Prime Hydration with bold thirst quenching flavors to help you refresh, replenish, and refuel. Prime is a perfect boost for any endeavor. We're confident you love it as much as we do. Brought to you by the Alfred Family Distributing Company. Escod Realty. Escod Realty is your hometown real estate office in Calexico and serving the entire Imperial Valley. Go see Mark or give him a call at 760-357-9707. The Mark of Excellence. IID, Imperial Irrigation, is your local public water and energy company providing reliable water service and energy to Imperial Valley 24/7, 365 days a year. The IID, keeping the lights on and the water flowing in Imperial Valley as we get ready to kick it off to the Rattlers with the Wildcats, of course, leading 14-0 now.
Gilbert Valenzuela setting it up to Kip. That's number 21. He is a senior. Set to receive is number 20 for the Rattlers. That is going to be Hassan Baines. And he's going to let that go, and it's going to go into the end zone. Untouched, so the ball is at the 20.
So as we take a little break right now, I hope you all got to see the little we're trying to fine tune it. So and this is our opportunity to trial and error right here. We've actually added instant replay. So we've had to fix a couple of things. Joaquin's come up with some features that, thanks to all our sponsors, Ron, the ones I'm reading out, every year we want to up something. During the regular season, we want to fine-tune that, have that fine-tuned in, and we also want to have the clock when it comes down to regular season games. And it'll be the official clock. It won't be one that we'll be keeping at different times. It'll be the official clock on every field. So, Joaquin, stepping it up again this year. So very much thanks to Joaquin Matus. Good job.
With 7:27 remaining, the Rattlers start at the 20-yard line motion. The give is to Baines and nothing doing. Baines is going to be knocked back. Let's see. That looks like number Raul Lopez. What number is Lopez?
So you can actually tell by the way they walk, Ron.
I could just tell by the way, yes, he did. And I'm pretty sure that is Raul Lopez. We're going to give Lopez credit for that tackle. That's number 60. He is a senior. So a loss of
about three? A long three on that, Ron.
Second down and 13. Ball's at the 17-yard line. Rattlers trying to find a way. I mean, right now, looks like they're going to have a hard time with that running game. So they have two receivers on both sides, doubles on both sides. Looking over the middle, intended for number 15. That would be Jaden Smith, and quarterback is Lavelle Teague. Teague had plenty of time to throw that to number 15, Teague.
Covered well
pass
by number 10, Roy Rosas. Please.
Roy Rosas is your starting safety for the Wildcats. So it looks to me like the defensive backfield of the Wildcats will be challenged tonight, and that's going to be Matthew Moreno, who is a safety, also with Jonathan Arianes, J.D. Arianes, who plays strong safety. Brandon Porras is your starting corner, along with Abraham Sabalos. Roy Rosas, as we said, is your free safety. Inside linebackers, Chris Camilo and Zane Richards.
Ron, with 6:30 to go for the end of the first quarter, Wildcats just dominating both sides of the field.
Yeah, right now. And, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Back to throw. Looks for somebody open, intended for number 8. That pass was intended for Tyler Fogg, incomplete pass. Now we're looking out at a 4th down and 13 for the Rattlers.
And Ron, what do you think about the throwing motion of that quarterback? He looks pretty smooth, though. He's just not accurate, but he throws pretty smooth.
And he's a pretty athletic kid, so he's back there. He had time. Number one, he had time to throw the ball, just has to figure a way to get a little bit more accurate. Set to kick is number 8. That's Tyler Fogg.
Porras back to receive, and that's one dangerous guy right there, number 4, Porras.
Porras with 2 touchdowns already. Porras standing outside, let's say, the 48-yard line. Fogg, smart choice, kicking it away, gets a bounce. But, hey, Brawley's going to start inside the 40-yard line, inside Rattler territory with 6:32 remaining in the first quarter.
Marianne Valenzuela Beanley, your State Farm insurance agent, located in Imperial Valley, like a good neighbor for all your insurance needs, located at 122 Main Street in Brawley. Give her a call at 760-344-0447. The original Town Pump Steakhouse for the best steaks in Imperial Valley, located at 200 West Main Street in Brawley. Cannot miss the Town Pump. Fine dining at its best. 344-3663 for reservations as we get ready to go back to action.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They will take over inside the 35-yard line.
So the Wildcats with very few mistakes, Ron.
Right now they're looking pretty good. There's Gutierrez. Gutierrez shooting back, open to Porras. Porras on the out. Porras completed. Porras all the way down 2. They're going to spot him at the 22-yard line, a gain of 12, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, one thing the Rattlers need to do is make sure that they cover Porras. And if it's going to have to take 2 guys, it's going to have to take 2 guys because this guy is tearing up the yardage against these.
If you're going to give Gutierrez any decent quarterback time to throw the ball, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And so right now, the defensive line is, I believe, number 58 that's Julius Thomas, number 58. He's your nose tackle. We have number 54, Joseph Aldridge, who's a defensive end. Got to get some pressure in there. And alongside number 55 is Drake Latham. They give us to Zane Richards, and Richards going to cut up the middle. Richards looking all the way, fights his way down to the 1 yard line.
Ron, Ray Richards, we got to see him. Zane Richards, we got to see him at the end of the season last year, and I was pretty impressed with him. Not big in stature, but very shifty back, Ron.
You know, and the deal with Zane is he just has this balance that he has. If you look at him, if you watch him, anytime we're on VSN or you watch him live, this kid is hard to tackle. You know, like you said, looking at him, you don't think he's that big, but he's pretty quick in between the tackles. And look at this run all the way to the 1 yard line. First and goal for the Wildcats. 5:42 remaining. They give us to Richards, and why not? Richards in for the one yard touchdown. So with 5:36 remaining, we have the Brawley Wildcats 20, Canyon Hills Rattlers 0.
Ron, and another advantage is that the rush that the Brawley Wildcats defense is putting not only on the offense but on the special teams, which is that in turn, when you put pressure on the punting formation team like the Rattlers have, it's giving the Wildcats great field position. Every time they've had to go into punt formation and punt it off, Ron, the punts are getting narrower and narrower and narrower.
Yeah, and it's the field position that we're talking about. I mean, you're pinned up against, you know, you're kicking from what, your 5-10 yard line? That's a lot of pressure. Urbano again, even with that little scoot step, knocks it through with 5:36 remaining. So the Wildcats now have 8. Wildcats from Brawley 21, Canyon Hills 0. 5:36 in the first quarter.
Ron took me down to Grasso's. I had the pleasure of meeting Hank down there. So, you know, it's great to talk to him, finally meet him, talk a little shop, and enjoy a great dinner. So, located at 1902 West Main Street in El Centro. You can order to go or come in, and for that fine Italian dining experience. An Imperial Valley tradition since 1955.
Sounds good for right now, man.
Intercare, when it comes to healthcare, Intercare is here to help with locations throughout Imperial Valley. Intercare, improving the health and wellness of our community. Well, Ron, it looks like we keep seeing the special teams of the Wildcats, you know, whether it's kicking off. And when you have the score being 21-0 right now, dominated by one side of the field, the clock is going to move very slow because why? They're only having to operate in half the field, half the length of the field there, Ron.
5:36, right. I mean, we've been, not even 7 minutes into the ball game. And here's the story. So when you get behind like this, it takes the guessing game out of defense. Okay, will they run the ball, try to run the ball? The running game hasn't been there. So they got to figure something out, give their defense a little breather. It's not like they've been on long drives. Brawley has scored quick. So here's a kick by Valenzuela. A little pooch. That's going to be Baines. Baines is at the 10. Baines up to the 20. Baines coming across, and looks like number
36 in there for the Wildcats, and that's going to be Andrew Camilo.
Andrew Camilo, that's the youngest of the Camilo boys.
Whoa, making his presence known out there to keep that tradition going on the Camilo family there.
That's a good tackle there by Andrew Camilo, who is a junior and also an inside linebacker for the Wildcats. So this is where the Rattlers will take possession at the 23-yard line. Best starting field position of the night.
Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Rattlers are still looking at a minus something yards on the offensive side of the ball.
If we had a statistician, we'd really know about this.
We are. They're minus 11 right now. As soon as we said statistician, he came straight
through, a stranger.
Nah, it's
stranger in the night.
It's good to see Jalen Fong come up here.
Jalen Fong has gone on to bigger, better things.
Yeah, congratulations to Jalen
bigger
Fong.
And better?
Yeah, we're going to say, we are.
Yeah, we are. We will say that, Jalen.
He's one of the good guys, man.
Jalen Fong, one of the guys that just helped us get to where we're at today. And here is – it's a pick! It's a pick. So Lavelle T did not see Alec Valdez, who dropped properly into the flats, picks it off with 5:22 remaining to add 6 more points to the Wildcats.
Well, Ron, a lot of pressure is getting applied on that offense of the Rattlers right there, and Wildcats are not letting up. Look, said this before. Once you get them down, you know what? Don't let them come up to breathe. And I can just see the body language on the quarterback of the Rattlers walking off the field right now. And you know what? He's doing the right thing. He's propping up. He said, "That's my bad." He's ready to go. Yeah. And I wish I knew what grade he was in, because he looks like a pretty young quarterback, but he looks like a very athletic quarterback.
He is athletic, because I was talking to the team earlier before they hit the field, and he also plays safety, so he's athletic enough to, your safety is usually a very athletic guy, and your quarterback, come on, man. So the guy has talent. There is something there.
Hey, Ron, after this PAT attempt, give us a little rundown on this new coaching staff. Not so much the head coaches, but on the assistant coach side. As the kick goes up and through, and the kick is good there.
So with 5:22 remaining in the first quarter, the Wildcats have struck again on a defensive touchdown, a pick six by Alec Valdez, a junior. 28-0 is the Wildcats. Now back to Will's point. So the interesting kind of concept that went on during the offseason for the Wildcats, trying to replace John Self. They came up with Ray Van Diver and Rick Rubio as co-head coaches. And along with that, a new, I don't know, how would you say, a new system kind of came into play. We reached out to former alumni players to see if they could just come out and help out. If you couldn't give a full-time status coach, well, can you be here on a part-time status? And so a lot of these guys have joined in. We have Justin Hannon out there. There's also Hunter Wharton's out there. We have Josh Godinez. And so these are the guys that have come on to help out. And alongside you, you have Eric Palpal, a linebacker coach. Lawrence Landy, who's been around the program for a long time. Coach Landy's back. We have, like I said, Eric Palpal. Marshall Tagabon is your defensive back coach. And so, it's just a lot of guys. Tyler Sycon's in, who helps out with the JV. So set to kick here is Valenzuela. Valenzuela up to Fogg. Fogg gets a catch. Fogg is up to the 15, gets to the 20, the 25. Since there's no numbers on the field, it's kind of hard to see when you kind of look at the box numbers on top. So it's going to be a decent kick return up to, I'm going to say, the 21-yard line.
Yeah, it looks to be inside the 22. But, yeah, I get your point, because what happens is the players cover up the numbers on the opposite side of the field right there.
So bear with us. Maybe you have a better view on the television screen or whatever device you're watching on. So with 5:11 remaining, this is their fourth possession, I would believe.
Fourth possession, and this is right around the same average where they've been starting right there, Ron. So good kick coverage for the Wildcats there. Still in the first quarter with 5:11 to go.
5:11 to go. And here's the deal, like finding out that Canyon Hills is a Division IV team doesn't take away from what the Wildcats are doing right now to them. The give is to the new running back, and that's number 42. So number 42 is Marcus Harmon. Marcus Harmon also plays linebacker, so Harmon is a senior inside linebacker. It looks like he also runs the football. So on that, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. No, he's going to lose a few on that.
He's going to lose at least a yard on there. Chris Camilo made sure of that. And that's the thing that they need out of Camilo. Camilo's got 3 years, if not 4, but 3 for sure as a starter. 3
for sure as a starter, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the leadership that these Wildcats are looking for. He's been there, he's done it, he's played against the tough teams. And I'll tell you what, the Wildcats got some tough teams coming up.
Right, and next week they have
I think
Cibola.
Cibola Raiders, yes.
And then after that, University City.
University City, yes.
So here we go with 4:39 remaining in the first quarter.
At University City.
Doubles on both sides. Teague looking. Teague shoots it out left. Contended for number 46. That's Daniel Westhofer. So what incomplete pass. Third down and 11. 4:23 remaining in the first quarter.
And Clemente covering on that, number 12. And that was an opportunity. If that ball would have been thrown on point, it would have given him an opportunity at least to get a little plus yardage on that. So right now, they're looking at a minus 12 yards total offense for the first half, Ron.
That's tough sledding, and here's the deal. Not knowing too much about what head coach Marcus Cook has to work with, we don't know the story about him, but, it's a tough thing. They've had some, they played El Capitan. You said earlier, that's a no-joke program.
Yeah.
I mean, they're up in The give, and here comes Teague. Teague showing a little bit of his athleticism. Teague is going to run all the way down to the 45-yard line. So when you have a cat like that in your backfield, man, hey, you can't let your guard down.
No, and lucky, I believe that was number 6, Joseph Ramirez, was able to make the tackle. But we did say something about him, though. Very athletic quarterback.
Kid, I mean.
So if he's got to tuck it in and run up the middle and the C part's open for you, you got to take it and run with that.
Was that a quarterback draw? Was that just a scramble? We don't know. However, Teague made it look very easy.
Yeah, he made it look smooth. The transition was very
smooth. He just took it
that.
and went. So the decision he made was great. Baines, number 20, is the back, side by side with them. Doubles on both sides. Wide side of the field is the right. Teague looking to his left. He shoots. He throws. It's complete.
Well,
yeah, complete. Defended there by Damian Clemente.
Well, Ron, you've seen programs, if you being a coach with 3:29, the clock ticking, where it needs a play like that to get that boost of confidence, right?
Sure. I mean, you need something positive to happen for you. Right there, boom. That gives you a little shot of adrenaline. Hey, man, Teague just did that. Let's get our things together. Let's get rolling. So right here, positive yards, 2nd down and 8.
Well, it puts them in the black, gets out of that red.
Yeah, now they're in Wildcat territory at the 41-yard line. Wildcats seem to be substituting Joseph Ramirez in at one of the corners. Valdez, you have Moreno, number 23, at backer. So here we go. Teague looking, shooting in Valdez. Valdez putting pressure. Teague looking, Teague throws. Complete to number 1. That is number 1. That is Quintez. They call him Tez Reed. Tez Reed, complete pass. So
Jacob Serrano in on the tackle, number 26. But, Ron, he completed the pass. He avoided three pass.
3 positive plays in a row. We got that big run and 3 complete passes, 2 completions on this first down. So you're looking at a 3rd and 4. Third and 4, yes.
3rd and 4. And what do they got to lose? And it's not, look.
4 down territory, man, from here on out.
That's the way I would look at it. But then again, that's why we're up in the booth and the coaches are down there.
So it's 3rd down and 4. Ball's right outside the 35. We'll say the 37. Wide side of the field is to the right. Formation will be doubles on both sides. Running back is number 20. That's Baines. We do not have the class. And here it goes. Teague looking. Teague shoots it across the middle, and that's complete to number 46. And that was just a bit. Hey, that's Daniel Westhofer. Hoffer must be a tight end. I didn't see where he lined up. Big target, man.
Well, Ron, they're going to look back at this film. Number 12 made the tackle. Damian Clemente made the tackle. But, Ron, I'm going to say something right now. Kids got to start wrapping up because tight ends are going to be big in this league.
Right.
You don't start wrapping, these guys you're just going to bounce off of you.
That was kind of one of the things that was Brawley's second game, and your tackling. I think sometimes your tackling takes a little bit to catch up to your offense. Because you're used to hitting each other in practice. This is the second game for Brawley, 3rd for Canyon Hills. And, when you watch film, you're going to say, hey, man, let's start putting shoulders into those bodies in them. So they give us to Baines, a little misdirection there, fake to Fogg and give to Baines, and went backwards a couple yards.
I think they're going to rule a fumble on this.
Fumble.
Yeah, you could just see his enthusiasm as he was rolling around the ground and he got that ball. That's number 60. That's Raul Lopez coming in for that tackle. I just love it when a D lineman gets that, We don't give him enough credit, whether it's the offensive side or the defensive. But, yeah, good for them. Good for old Lopez to get in there.
Raul Lopez with the tackle maybe and even the sack. And a little bit of that, the misdirection kind of fogged things up, got the pressure on him. So that being said, it's the second turnover of the night for the Brawley defense. Wildcats now at the 34-yard line. 1st and 10. 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
50 seconds to go in the first quarter.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Gutierrez still in at quarterback. We have doubles on both sides, single back. Brawley band playing away just like it should be at a high school football game. So we have a timeout by the Rattlers.
The Rattlers call a timeout, and Will Torrez, Ron Rubio will be right back after this.
Grosso's, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1955. Family owned and operated. located at 1902 West Main Street, El Centro. Grosso's is open Wednesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. Order to go or come in for the Italian dining experience.
Back to Warne Field with 49 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We have a score of Brawley Wildcats 28, Canyon Hills Rattlers 0.
Hey, Ron, as we get ready to finish off the first quarter here, we're going to talk to a guy, not just a regular guy.
That title could be very general.
Well, listen.
I want to know how many people call this guy.
No. Well, look,
any consequences.
Let me say, because I'm going to go a different way. I'm going to go a different way, not the professional way. People need to remember. They don't need to remember, but if they remember well, this guy was offensive coordinator for the Brawley Wildcats, I would say 50
years ago.
1990?
Late 90s through the 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I thought. With us joining up here in the booth is not only as – go ahead, Ron. I'll finish up after this.
Real quick, Brandon Porras with a jet sweep to the left. Porras breaking tackles, and Porras – hey, man, that's one of the busiest 8-yard run I'll ever see and so far this season. 2nd down and 2 for the Wildcats. Ball is, let's say, about the 42-yard line. 2nd down and 2.
And look, right now with the Wildcats leading 28-0, I think the Wildcats, I'm kind of surprised they're going to let the clock run down, but that's what it looks like. So with 18 seconds to go, as we get ready to end the first quarter, VSN Will Torrez will be back with Superintendent Brawley Union High School Simon Canales after these messages from our sponsors.
Back in Warne Field at the start of the second quarter. As we said, as we led off, the Wildcats have a comfortable 28-0 lead over the visitors from Canyon Hills. And where is Canyon Hills really located at? We're like in inner city San Diego.
10 to 15 miles just north of the 8 and located almost of Mission Valley.
Oh,
just a little
like
bit
Qualcomm,
north.
maybe that way. Okay,
yeah. And it's like we said, it's the old Sierra High School, right?
Sierra High.
Right, Simon?
Yep.
So, Simon, what was the deal with the change on that? Did they go charter school, or what happened with that?
No, just trying to get in with the modern times and upgrade, and so they chose a different moniker and a different mascot. So,
I don't know. I'm a traditional type of guy, as we are. And I do want to mention, Simon, this is his 30th year.
Wow.
With Brawley Union High School. It's his 8th or 9th year as superintendent.
8th year.
And he looks the same.
And he looks the same as when he was an
Oh,
offensive
man.
coordinator, man.
Yeah.
As when he was an offensive coordinator, man, in the 1990s.
2nd down and 1, motion by Porras. The give, no, the fake is given to Moreno. Moreno up the middle. Moreno finding his way. Moreno's going to be cuts back. Moreno to the 10, 5, touchdown, Matthew Moreno. So Moreno takes it a good, I'm going to give him 58 yards on that. 58 yards on that.
Let's take a look at this replay right here as Moreno. I like the juke by this big guy. Look at that. There it is right there. As he take it up there and he scores in there. So that's just, for a guy that has size and speed, good run by Moreno.
Well, here's a time when you say that size and speed. Speed comes from running track. So everybody out there, you want to be a better athlete, join your track program. It's a good stuff for you. So set to kick is, sorry about that, Will. Set to kick is Urbano. Set to hold is Porras. 11:48 remaining in the second quarter. And Urbano is going to not make that one. So Urbano now 4 out of 5 on PATs. That being said, 11:48 remaining in the second quarter. Wildcats 34, Rattlers 0.
The Dom team, for all your real estate needs, give Doug and Andrew a call at 760-337-8600. The Dom family has been in the Valley since 1908. For business, residential, and farmland real estate, it's the Dom team. Simon, what are some of the positive things that you see in the change with the coaching staff and all? I mean, this has been your school, and I know that you focus just on mainly on Brawley football program, and not just the program, but in all sports. But what are some of the changes that were pretty obvious with this coaching regime that came up?
Well, first and foremost, Ronnie's coached with us, since my inception here in the early 90s, and Rick's been a product of that as well and coached alongside of us. And you've got Coach Van Dyer, who came up and actually played for us. And so they're all a product of the system. Kind of went through, the different coaches in Cato and then in Bishop and that style. And so it's been, I think, easy transition for on both sides of the ball for these guys to come up, because it's something that we've produced, right, as far as continuity from the freshmen, the JV, the varsity, and even our feeder programs. And so these guys, they're just here. They're here for the right reasons. They enjoy football. They enjoy being around kids, and that's what's important. And I think that's what it's about. And what we're doing at the CIF level with positivity and mental awareness and inclusivity and the notions that we're doing at the school, these coaches have bought into that, right? And you can see that with this unit that's out here on the field. They all believe in one another, and they're there to support kids, and that's coming out and being shown.
So one of the things that when it happens, with everything that you just said right now, I just see the only difference is it's different personalities coaching, like a personality style, because they didn't come in here and revamp everything and change everything. What they did is they enhanced what they liked, and then they kind of adjusted to the other things to not make that big old revamping process, not confuse everybody.
No, exactly. And so, each coach that precedes us, each administrator that precedes me, we all take a little bit of the strengths, right? And we take that forward in our leadership styles. And I think we see that in Rick and Ray, right? And so, like you're saying, they've adapted and they're modifying the program according to their style, but then they're bringing in their leadership that's focused on inclusivity, cohesiveness, and supporting these kids.
Well, as Ron and I have notice, this is the second game I've seen, but I witnessed it in that scrimmage where they were actually behind and they came back in the second half. Okay, well, it's hard to judge that scrimmage because you're always, trial and error kind of stuff. But right here, and look, they're not up to par with the Wildcats, the Rattlers are. But listen, when you're in that position, you got to be mistake-free too, though, Simon. You can't just make mistakes and then score, because then you're just dominant. You got to be crisp in everything you do, and that's what I'm seeing out of the Wildcats tonight.
Well, it's everything, every game, right, from the summer on is a work in progress. And you can see progressively these kids are getting better, right? And the coaches are instituting different schemes. And tonight it's coming together in a number of different facets on all aspects of the ball, on the defensive side, on the offensive side, and special teams. So that's always a good sign.
Well, as we get ready to see some positive yards coming out of the Rattlers over there, enough to get a first down there, Ronnie, and this might be the second best field position they've had of the night.
Well, Lavelle Teague just took it right up the middle, and just to touch on what Simon says, he was spot on everything he said, and that's what the Wildcats, and I have firsthand, to see what's going on, and it's true, everybody's bought into what we're trying to do, and it's just the consistency. That's the main thing. We weren't trying to reinvent the program, just kind of get things better than what, improve on what needs improvement. Like Simon said, your leadership qualities come in. Let's keep what's good and let's try to get better at things that we need to work on. So good tackle there by, looks like Camilo.
No, that was number 52, Nathan Torrez, joined in by Camilo. And on that note right there, he hit on something that's key, and that's that feeder program. Ronnie, congratulations, is now the head coach of the JV team. Congratulations.
Well deserved, Ronnie. Deserved.
Well deserved, man. And that's part of that whole feeder program, as we've always said that. And Schoonover's still at the freshman level. So, look, things have changed, but at the same time, they haven't. They still got that Brawley tradition here.
Yeah, and the defense and the offensive schemes, right, are basically a lot the same that you would have seen in the 90s and the 2000s, but they've evolved as well.
Yes.
And so there's different nuances, and the kids are working on it, and I think it's really paying dividends.
So here's that fake give to number 25 and the keep by Teague up the middle, and that's what's been making a 3rd down, and let's say 3rd down and 5.
So one of the things we implemented this year, we're messing around. We're fine-tuning it. We installed their instant replay. I mean, like Ron said earlier in the football, we're not here to reinvent the wheel,
right,
but we are here to make VSN better for our public, and that's a credit to this beautiful press box that BUHS has put up here and our sponsors. It's just that type of thing that, we want to make our public audience be able to enjoy this game, and we thought that instant replay was one of the things that enhance this whole deal.
Most definitely, and I appreciate all that you're doing as far as being able to promote all of our sports, high school sports across the valley, because it's not just about football. You guys do a number of different broadcasts across the year, but the fan experience and enhancing with that instant replay is really going to help.
Teague to give it to Fogg. Fogg trying to bounce it out to the left side. He's going to be well pursued by the Wildcat defense.
And that's just an aggressive play. With the sidelines, I'm still getting a little accustomed to the girls' flag football sidelines they have there. But tackled in, pushed out of bounds by number 10, Ray Rosas.
Roy Rosas from the free safety spot coming, and that was they hung that run out. They contained very well. Wildcat defense now on a 4th down and let's say 4th and 5. Inside, they're going to go for it at their own 48-yard line.
You made a good point there, Ron. Number 54, Kim, was able to stretch that
Strung it out really good.
Yeah, and he might have not made the tackle, but he was able to make him go lateral movement. That way the defensive backs were able to come up on.
Once you get kids to buy in, look, you're not going to make every tackle, but just do your job, contain your area, and let your other teammates make the play. Teague looks, Teague shoots it out. It's complete. There's Fogg. Fogg to the 30. Fogg to the 15, 20, 10. Touchdown. Touchdown for Tyler Fogg. And that was a well-designed play. I mean, the guy they found somewhere where they can hit a route. They hit it. Good throw by T. Good catch by Tyler Fogg. So with 7:14 remaining in the second quarter, the Rattlers have struck a touchdown. 34-6 with 7:14 remaining.
So cool. I'm glad. Thursday evening, I got the Friday night. I got the Friday night feeling though, Ron. Even though it's Thursday night, it's a Thursday evening of high school football on a typical August evening. 100 degrees still outside with.
But it's high school football. It's varsity football. That's what counts. So here, it is the kick by Yankowski. It's up. It's good. 7:14 remaining. The Rattlers now 7, Wildcats 34.
And we cannot forget to mention our partners, Bulldog Media, VSN South. That's John Moreno, Vic Carrillo, and the rest of the crew, Jose. And just an outstanding job that they do. We're very appreciative of everything with the combination. Ron and the rest of the crew here on the north end. Tomorrow night, they will be traveling to El Centro to take on, which is going to be a tough game. The Central Spartans are going to be taking on the Ramona Bulldogs. And John Moreno and Vic Carrillo will have the call on that. That's going to be an exciting ball game. As I mentioned earlier, Ron and I, actually it's going to be Coach Swearingen and Ron Rubio will be at Imperial High School tomorrow, where the Imperial Tigers take on the Cibola Raiders. And the week after that, the Brawley take on the Cibola Raiders. So it's going to be an interesting 2 weeks for them. It's going to be interesting for the Spartans.
I'm interested in that Ramona Central game.
Yeah. It's going to be a telltale sign because you got two tough teams. You got, rookies up there. His team is looking at a top three in Division II, and then the Ramona Bulldogs are up there. So it's going to be an interesting ball game.
A squib kick or onside kick. Recovered by, that looks like Roy Rosas on the bottom. Sure was. I didn't see that because I was busy trying to look up Ramona football and see where they stand.
Coach Damon, if you recall last year, they beat the Spartans in the CIF game that year. And I'll tell you what, if any one of those, if half that line is coming back, it's going to be a tough ball game. But look, the Central Spartans, they're ready for it, Ron. I mean, everybody wants if I think the Central Spartans right now, they have a very tough schedule. That first half of that schedule is very tough because not only that, then they're going to be facing Granite Hills on a Thursday night coming up in the future.
Well, right now they're 2-0. They're sitting at 2-0. They faced who was their first team? Santa Fe Christian. They took on the road in San. That's anytime you go over the hill, 2-hour trip, suit up, play a ball game, it's an advantage to the home team. They came out with the win. From my knowledge of that game, not very, wasn't the typical offense of the Spartans, but guess what? Their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense are down. They got that Martin kid over there.
Led by number 22.
Martin. So here's the thing. They're finding a different way to win, and that's good coaching. That's just what you have to do, man. You have to work with what you have. They may not have the quarterback. My sources were telling me.
No, he's good, Ron. No, I've seen him twice already. He's pretty good.
Well, what I meant is they lost a lot.
Oh,
they lost a lot at the skill
skill
spots. They lost a lot at the skilled spots. I mean, the receivers. You lost Marini. I mean,
Charlie Sullivan.
The kid, Bubba Garcia.
Yeah.
That one kid. So here's the thing, and it's just a credit to Central staff, getting back on track. So they knocked off Santa Fe Christian. They played Palm Desert. Palm Desert, let's be real, didn't look like the Palm Desert of old.
They did.
So they knocked them off. But look, this is the story, Will and Simon. When you play a team, you don't play down to your opponents. You want to raise your level of play up, and this is an example right here with the Wildcats. They're trying to this is the Wildcats' second ball game. Yeah, they're going to keep their starters in. There goes Brandon Bora's on a give. Bora's trying to give, tackled by number 19. That's Mason Lee. So that's the story, man. When you suit up for football, man, you can't never say, hey, man, let's take it easy on these guys.
No, and it's about execution.
It's about execution.
Yeah, and the
that's
opportunity to stretch your play sheet and do things that you might not normally get a chance to do.
Simon, have you had an opportunity to see the Spartans yet?
I haven't.
What about Imperial?
I have seen Imperial.
You have seen Imperial.
Yeah.
So
Imperial's got a big line.
They do. And that's what's going to make – look, it makes everybody better. I just love – that's what I love about the high school football. One thing I want to talk about this penalty, Ron, and it's a new rule this year. So let's say the line of scrimmage was
what happened there?
At the 39-yard line. Okay, if the penalty used to occur 5 yards behind the line,
they would mark it from the point.
They would mark it from where the penalty occurred and then add 10 yards. Everybody was in agreement with this. It's too much punishment. So what they do is they place the ball back at the line of scrimmage and they go 10 yards from there. If not, it would have been. I like it too. If not, it would have been.
It would have been 10 yards from the first down they just.
So
made.
it would have been 15. It would have been 10, and then you add the 5 where the penalty was at, and then 10 after that. That's just too much.
Motion by Clemente to give is to Richards. Richards going to try the right side. Richards gets some good yards back. He might he gets 7 of those 10 yards, and that was a 10-yard holding call, right?
Yes,
still
10 yard. Yeah.
So second down, gets 6 out of that 10 that they lost. So who was the architect, and who decided to change that? I mean, when did this come about?
Not only is Simon's 9th year as superintendent, 30th year is as a Brawley employee, but he's also on the CIF council. Is that correct? Not so much a rules committee. You're overall.
So yeah, actually, I'm the chairperson of
That's cool. That's good stuff.
And
believe me or not, that was not a lead-in. No, it was not a lead-in comment. So here we go. We have second down and let's say 15. Gutierrez rolls to his left. He's still looking. Has time. He's going to roll. He's going to tuck it and go, and he gets back. Oh. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and a couple of yards over that. So let's say 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, and talking about that, I think Simon could probably explain it. What is the whole process in that when it comes not just that rule, Simon, but any rule that they want to make, CIF wants to make changes?
Yeah, and they're just looking at the competition committees and everybody taking consideration from the coaches and the officials, right, to make sure it's enhancing – 2 things: speed of the game, efficiency, effectiveness of the game, and not detracting from the game itself. And so when I look at those common sense opportunities for
like
change,
that.
then they work towards that implementation. I'm telling you, these officials, they've got it tough going right now. When they've got the girls' games going on Monday and Wednesday and a different nuance, and you see the different lines on the field and the calls that go there, and then trying to transition from last night's girls' flag football games to today's varsity boys' games. They've got a tough road ahead, but we appreciate all that they do for us.
Yeah, and I was talking to John Seaman, and he said that they had a good, I wouldn't say a big number, but they had a lot of people, new people come out. You know, especially with the girls, it's going to be a faster game, and it's a way to move up to the varsity level a lot quicker by doing that flag football.
Definitely, and what we're seeing too is growth in the involvement of more females in the officiating. So that's also a good positive.
Torrez now looking for third down. He shoots. He's looking for Torrez, and Torrez receives a reception done. Torrez is going to work his way all the way to the 34-yard line of the Rattlers. So with the third down and I would say 17, completed pass for Torrez to Torrez. And back to the refereeing association. It's a good deal that people start trying to get into refereeing officiating, without those guys, man, it's a tough thing to do. I have kids that are referees.
I saw your son last night.
Yeah, and they're enjoying it. And here's the deal, man. The more involved you get with it, you can sit in the stands and complain about referees. But do something about it if you think you could do better.
Yeah, and that's what our whole initiative is about, the sportsmanship and code of conduct, because we've been seeing a loss of officials all across all of our sports because we haven't been exemplifying that with spectators in the stands. And so we're making a big promotion effort. Again, we want to support our referees and our officials because they're at the heart of everything that we do. And
they're keeping really busy, as Simon said, with the girls' football, flag football. 5:02 remaining in the second quarter. Wildcats now inside Rattler territory. We'll say the 34-yard line. So we have doubles on one side. Torrez gives to Moreno. Moreno off to the left, and there's a flag on the field. Moreno looks like he's going to bounce it out to the 15, but there is a flag. So I'm not sure. I will look and see.
Did you hear a whistle?
No, but I saw a flag.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It looks like they might have lined up wrong.
Or in a formation.
And it might be they're substituting, but it doesn't really look that way. I'm talking about the Wildcat line. False start. So the Wildcats have had 3 penalties on this drive right here. So this is something you may not look, man. We're getting a little bit sloppy. 3 penalties on one drive, even in a close game, even with a better competition, if you want to put it that way. 3 penalties on one drive, that's too much.
Yeah. So, Ron, are you saying they are substituting? What's it look like?
I'm trying to look and see. It doesn't look like you have Coda, number 78, still at the offensive line. It could be somebody at the skilled spot, maybe didn't line up on the line or off the line. That being said, we have a first down and 15. Wildcats at the 39-yard line of the Rattlers with 4:37 remaining in the second quarter.
So, Simon, when you were on the coaching staff, who were some of the coaches that were on there? That was Bishop as the head coach, right?
So we had Bishop was on the head coach, and I assisted him on the offensive side of the ball, and my assistant, my right-hand person, actually is our defensive coordinator, Rick Rubio. And so down at the JV level, lower levels, he was working with the defensive side of the ball, and he'd come up and help me on Friday nights on the offensive side of the ball. And then you had John Self Sr. That was helping John on the defensive side of the ball. And then we always had Ronnie and a lot of continuity from the same guys that you see on the staff right now. Sheldon's been a part of it and helped us all along. Coach Landy's been a part of that, helped us for quite some time.
Was that Thomas Brown?
Thomas Brown.
Thomas Brown.
Yeah. When I came up to cut my teeth, Thomas was the JV coach.
Yeah.
And I worked with him, and so I was doing a little bit, mainly DBs and receivers coming up, and then Bishop wanted to put me in my place, so when he brought me up to the varsity, he assigned me the offensive defensive line.
Nice.
which is a good thing, and I think that's where Ray comes through as well. Coaching the offensive defensive line, you understand those line stunts on both sides of the ball, the action, where they attack the play, and it's a good transition then into understanding the whole aspects of the offense.
Hey, Simon, did you ever tell Bishop, because obviously you chose the correct path. Okay. Did you ever go, hey, listen, man, one day I'm gonna be superintendent, so you better treat me right around
That's why
here.
Bishop retired and went to Flagstaff.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So, yeah, John and I, we had some great conversations, and being his vice principal and principal at the time, they didn't always go the way maybe either one of us wanted them to.
A little bit of old school back then, huh?
Yeah, give and take.
After a screen to Moreno, Wildcats now have a 1st and goal, we'll say, at the 7-yard line.
3:07 to go till half.
Bunt set down top to the left of Gutierrez. Flexing out their tight end, that's Gilbert Valenzuela. Spot pass out to Porras, and Porras will walk in for a touchdown. Did they spot him? Touchdown, Porras. So a 7-yard touchdown with 2:44 remaining in the second quarter. We now have the Wildcats of Brawley 40, Canyon Hills Rattlers 7.
Take a look at this beautiful block by number 12 right here. Just beautiful block that made us able to score that touchdown. That was, once again, Damon Clemente. I mean, it's those kind of things, Ron, that make the difference. And those are the type of things that you notice in the film, right, Simon? That blocker, that lineman, going down and on the secondary block after his initial block, he goes down and he looks for color downfield.
Speaking of John Bishop, that was one of his great strengths, was having us focus on being meticulous, right, and doing things over and over and over so they become ingrained.
Yep.
So you see those types of things, they pay off dividends.
Well, as we get ready for Miss PAT right here.
It's a block, and I'm kind of interested. You were a place kicker.
Yeah, so
I'm looking at Urbano now, not to take anything away from Urbano, but that's something new. That's more than a 3-step kick.
well, it's a whole timing deal
Right,
now.
I get you.
And so when it's one of those things like I don't know what the practice schedule is or nothing like that, but that's one of the things that you got to get that timing down. But listen, they've had 5 opportunities, and they got to make it happen right here, because it's going to come down to a game later on this season or in the near future that those extra points are going to count.
Yeah, you're 4 out of 6 on the PATs. That's something you're going to work on. So hey, guess what? If that's your problem right now, PAT, that's fixable.
Yeah.
That's very fixable. 2:44 remaining, second quarter. Wildcats will be kicking off, and that would be Gilbert Valenzuela, the senior, who also plays tight end. So 40-7. What is the story? Is there mercy rule in varsity football?
Yeah, and I think it has to be 40 points, right, Simon? It's 40 points.
I'm not. And
yeah, it's going to be 40 points, and it's either that or it's a volunteer. For it to start.
Running clock in the second
Oh,
half, most likely.
Okay,
yeah.
got you.
And look, the last thing the Wildcats want to do is get somebody hurt right now, because as you see any good program that's not as deep, it doesn't matter who you are, key injuries at key positions are always going to be an issue. And that's just, hopefully most of them are a week or two that they can, fix in a couple of weeks. But, when it's 40-0, that's always a chance you take. But that's just part of the game. I mean, you can't sit here and say, hey, I don't want to get hurt and let's pull them out. No, you know what? Let's go. That's just part of the game. I mean, it's going to happen to everybody. And Brawley's been a victim of that for the past many years, as you know, especially when it came to the quarterback position.
Yeah, I had a quarterback that did everything. He never came off the field. He was the punter. He was the kicker. He was played free safety. He was there. But this is an opportunity with this type of humidity, dealing with potential cramps. We don't want any hamstring injuries, so they can rotate some guys in and get some different reps, and that's always helpful.
Teague with the give to number 25. That's Moises Altamirano. Altamirano, number 25, running back, gets it back up to the line of scrimmage with 2:29 remaining. And I'm wondering why the clock stopped on a running play.
Blake Riley, it's going now. They shouldn't have been stopped. But Blake Riley, number 68, was in there to assist on the tackle with 2:20 to go. And still, 2:20 to go until halftime, Ron. This is still a faster running quarter than that first one was. And one of the things I want to discuss during our halftime interview, I want to talk a little bit about the girls program that Brawley has going down here, not just in Brawley, but some of the – I think it's going to do really well, man. I mean, I think it's going to be a very popular sport. Everybody's green. I'll tell you what, it's like everybody started from green.
Yeah, I've been participating in most of the matches from the scrimmage at Central on, and you can see, that they're green, but each week they're all progressing, and so it's good to see.
Teague with the pass out to Fogg. Fogg on that quick spot pass takes it up, and he will be having a first down over, I'd say, the 36-yard line. So first and 10 for the Rattlers with 1:28 remaining.
Well, the Rattlers they might have been. Let me see. We're looking at. Is that? I don't think it's a first down though, right, Ron?
He does offense. Tackle.
As Ron's getting some pointers from Coach Landy here, it's going to be second and short, second and about 2 to go, with the clock running, 1:09 and ticking. And look, you look at when the linemen start talking, something's wrong, Ron. When the linemen start talking.
Well, like you said earlier, I wish we had the classes of these guys. Teague with the fumble. Teague picks it up. Teague's going to take it around the right side. And sometimes, broken plays like this fit an athletic guy like Teague.
Most definitely.
You play right into their hands. He makes something out of nothing. Gets a first down for the Rattlers with 43 seconds left in the second quarter. Ball now at. Now I'm trying to figure out. Ball is at the 42-yard line. 42-yard line.
I'm usually pretty good, but we're missing the numbers out on the field, Simon.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
25 seconds and ticking. Will the Rattlers just go ahead and go in? No, they're going to run a play. Teague, empty backfield. Teague pressured by number 4. That is Andrew Tyrant. He drops it. Picked up by Nathan Torrez, 52, and the Wildcats will scoop it in and score.
Ron, I know that looks bad on the Rattlers, but he's trying to make a play, but sometimes I don't know. It's just.
Did they defer?
Yes, they deferred. They will start the second half. So they will after this try, because even though they scored, we still will have time for a try. Even though they didn't stop the clock, so we will have some seconds up on the clock. It looks like they're going to put 5 seconds up
on the clock.
And the PATs, no time is taken off the clock on that, so they will have to kick off.
So let's see where Urbano was 4 for 4. Now he's 4 for 6. Let's see. On the Wildcats, have they put up the score yet? No.
Well, one thing about the Rattlers, they're not small in numbers on the field, Ron. That's not a problem.
They've got a good size squad numbers and overall size as well.
And number 58 running out there, that's Joel Reese. So with 3 seconds remaining, now they decide to put 3 seconds on the clock. Tahoe Esporas, Kopnick the snapper, Urbano the kicker. Looks like Urbano didn't squeeze it in. He gets it in this time. So the Wildcats now, with a very comfortable 47-7 lead, will be kicking off.
IB Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractors serving geothermal and all industrial facilities in Imperial Valley. IB Welding is a proud sponsor of Valley Sports Network. Give Fred a call, 760-483-WELD Weld. Burgers and beer for the best burgers in town. If you can't make it to the game, come watch VSN Game of the Week at Burgers and Beer, located at 260 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro. CR&R Incorporated. With recycling now being more important than ever, CR&R Incorporated has developed innovative recycling with reuse programs. CR&R Incorporated, the face of a greener generation. So, Ron, very few things the Wildcats have to fix. Simon, they're looking good. PATs, one of those issues that can be fixed, and it's a timing thing, as we talked about it. But so far, when you talk about the defense, look, they had minus 11 yards until their third or fourth possession, Simon. So credit to the Wildcat defense, not just the offensive side of the ball.
Like in football, it's hard to be perfect every single play. And then in a game like this, and the kick by Urbano.
Beautiful.
Taken by number 1. That is going to be Tez Reed. Tez Reed will back, you can't pitch a perfect game every time, but there will be things in film that you're going to see. So as we end the second quarter, the end of the first half, we have the Brawley Wildcats 47, Canyon Hill Rattlers 7.
And we'll be back at halftime with Simon Canales after these messages from our sponsors.
Imperial Flying Service, taking care of the entire Imperial Valley with all your aviation fuel needs. Imperial Flying Service is a proud supporter of our U.S. military, the aviation community, and all Imperial Valley communities.
InnerCare since 1970. When it comes to healthcare, InnerCare is here to help, with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. InnerCare, improving the health and wellness of the community.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Lee Tire Company. We are a local, family-owned business specializing in tires and automotive needs. We are located at 114 Main Street, El Centro. Call us at 760-352-1721.
Marianne Valenzuela Fenley is your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. And like a good neighbor, she's located at 528 G Street in Brawley. Call State Farm agent Marianne Valenzuela Fenley at 760-344-0447 for your home, auto, and life insurance.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beer is in the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Ojeda Industries is here to offer solutions with exceptional products and services for all your agricultural, industrial, and power transmission needs. It's Ojeda Industries, hydraulic repair service in Brawley at 1698 Jones Street. Call us at 760-623-7299.
South Cali Air Conditioning, the #1 York dealer in the Imperial Valley. Contact them today for all your AC needs. Call them at 760-556-9901.
Day in and day out, your publicly owned Imperial Irrigation District proudly delivers low-cost, reliable energy service to its customers in the Imperial and Coachella Valleys. When compared to other power providers, IID's residential, commercial, and governmental customers all save up to 50% on their monthly energy bills. That's because IID is committed to more than just delivering power. IID is committed to you. IID, where customers always come first.
We just moved, so there's millions of
Valley is in bloom, over 9 acres. When we started, we grew a quarter of an acre. Now I'm taking on new products on the regular.
We always dreamed of having this property, so
I want to make my yard look as beautiful as
largemouth bass.
Yep.
We've got tons of them, don't we, buddy?
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours?
Visit us online at rdoequipment.com or contact your local RDO for in-stock availability.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy-saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
We have created our own drink company. The fastest growing sports drink in history.
We will pride! We will pride! Ladies and gentlemen, we go.
The monkey has pride!
This season, we are hydrated!
The official sports drink of the UFC. It's time!
Oh, that's good.
Welcome back to halftime at Warne Field. With me, of course, is Simon Canales, superintendent of Brawley Union High School. Simon, one of the things we were talking about prior to coming on air right here is these new sports coming in. I mean, of course, this year you have girls flag football, but last year you had girls volleyball and
boys volleyball.
I'm sorry, boys volleyball. So even though it's not new on the West Coast, they've had the boys volleyball for a lot of years. The community and Imperial Valley in itself have really adapted to it, especially the flag football.
Yeah, most definitely. The boys volleyball has been in play in the San Diego station and up and down the state for a number of years, and so we were able to get some momentum and bring that in last year during the spring. It was well received, and then last year in the LA section, girls flag football kicked off as a demonstration sport, and so they came to us at Federated Council and petitioned us to make it an approved CIF statewide sport. And so we took that vote in the spring, and we're all on board with that, heavily supported by the NFL and our college partners there in the NCAA. And so we've got a number of schools in the San Diego section and Imperial Valley sections that are participating, and a number of schools up and down the state. So it's been well received. I know tons of numbers of girls are coming out in our schools here in the Southeastern Conference.
So one of the things that's going on here in the Valley, I wanted to ask, so they're only playing in the Valley, in conference, for instance, Brawley and Calexico, they're playing, everybody's just playing here. Is that going on? Everybody's just playing in their own league?
Yeah, and so what's going on is league play, and then if you have the opportunity, if you want to branch outside of your league, so like in San Diego section, obviously there's multiple leagues, and if that's things that they want to do and nuance, but there will be no playoffs this year, and so that's something that we'll see growth here in the near future as the sport grows, and we're looking forward to that.
So when you say near future, so is there plans on the CIF side, not so much school-wise, is there plans with CIF for them to branch out playoffs and then branch out further down the road?
Yeah, most definitely. And what you'll look is you'll see section level playoffs, and then progression from that to regional, and then eventually we'll get to that state.
So maybe next year?
I'd say sections potentially for next year.
Yeah.
Regional is probably the year to follow, and then anything can happen at the state level.
Right, and is that the same to go with boys volleyball?
That's already in play.
Oh, that's already in play?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So
because the volleyball was already existing.
And up and down the state.
Yes, that's right. That's a good thing.
Yep.
One of the other things we're seeing here when you added CIF Southern Section, San Diego section, added girls flag football is, of course, volleyball season's going on right now. How many of those girls are playing volleyball and then transferring, not so much transferring, actually dual sport?
Yeah, and it's an opportunity for our student athletes to participate in multiple sports. And so that's a leverage piece between coaches, right, practice schedules. And so there is the ability to have that happen. We do have a number of girls participating from our lower levels of either cross-country, tennis, could be golf, it could be volleyball, that are actually playing varsity flag football at the same time. And so they're working with the coaches are supporting that. And so it's exciting. And so we've got lots of enthusiasm. When we first started the sport, we thought we'd start at the varsity level. And right off the bat, all of the schools got an influx of a number of girls. We're looking 60, 70 girls where you were already having JV and varsity squads, which is great.
Yeah. So, and I kind of giggle over that because when you say that the transformation was easy, I don't know. I mean, it's got to be hard. If I look at it only from the football, if a football coach had to share his players on another team, though, I think that would be a little bit rough there, Simon.
No, it is, and it is a work in progress. And I think just athletes are athletes, and again, seeing the sport grow and enthusiasm, I think there's that willingness at this point to be able to share.
I personally like it. I because it doesn't take away so much for the ball. It can work. Not everybody's going to like it. There's going to have to be adjustments, but it can work. And just to see different athletes play other sports, I think it's phenomenal when they have an opportunity to do that.
Definitely, but we need committed athletes because they still need to be committed to both programs, and it does a disservice if they're not. So that's one thing we focus on.
So one of the interesting things, are we going to start seeing flag football in college, though?
So that's the next iteration. It's going to be a demonstration sport at the Olympics, and I think with seeing that, and then the last number of Super Bowls, it's been a demonstration sport, and so the NFL is on board. So you're going to start seeing college scholarship availabilities, and so the growth, not just in the United States but across the world as a sport, is going to be tremendous.
No, that's actually when you start mentioning it's going to be a college sport, and especially in the Olympic part, I think that's just awesome. I mean, and to tell you the truth, the level of young girls that are very athletic that can actually, like in volleyball, I don't see their speed as much as I see their quickness, but on the flag football side, I see their speed, and that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, when you're looking at that squad, 7-on-7, everybody has hands, everyone's an athlete, everyone needs to catch, everyone needs speed, right? It's all an aspect of the game, so you're seeing that showcased in this sport.
Well, as we get ready to kick off the second half, I appreciate you coming on board here and helping out and everything. And once again, thanks for the accommodations you have set up for VSN here. We really much appreciate it. You, Billy Brewer, Jesse, and Mr. Greg Smith. So much appreciated from all of us up here at VSN.
And we appreciate you promoting the sport. Thank you.
So from Simon Canales, Will Torres, we'll be right back after this.
Grosso's, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1955. Family owned and operated. Located at 1902 West Main Street, El Centro. Grosso's is open Wednesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. Order to go or come in for the Italian dining experience.
Imperial Flying Service, taking care of the entire Imperial Valley with all your aviation fuel needs. Imperial Flying Service is a proud supporter of our U.S. military, the aviation community, and all Imperial Valley communities.
Welcome back to the beginning of the second half, where the Brawley Wildcats here at Warne Field have a 47-7 lead over the Canyon Hill Rattlers. Here to pay some bills now is Will Torrez.
Havens Landscaping. Havens and Sons Trucking is located at 603 East Main in El Centro, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone for all your landscaping material needs. Give Jeremy a call at 760-352-6735. Reach Response Service. When second counts, Donnie Wharton, Reach, and all Reach's medical transportation services are there. You can depend on them when the seconds count. Not only that, Donnie Wharton, not only that, he's also mayor of Brawley.
Is he really?
Heck, have you ever seen his Facebook? He does a little bit of everything. And you know what? Hunter's out there. So congratulations to that whole Wharton family. And you know what? Can't say enough with Donald up in Alaska right now flying them jets.
Well, that was a pop-up kickoff, and I'm not sure what number that was, but
whoa, that's
little players getting that's the last thing Brawley needs to do right now is get tangled up. You're ahead 47-7. Any team up by that amount of play just walk off and look at the scoreboard. 11:56 remaining. Short kick on that. Not sure if that was intentional, trying to do a pooch. However, return for the Rattlers all the way up to the 34-yard lines, and that's where they'll start their first possession as they deferred to the second half. So the Wildcats now with the 47-7 lead.
Well, like Ron said, that's the last thing you need. Right now, you're looking at a 3-game suspension. That's just ridiculous.
Is that what the story is?
Yeah, it's always been, and then they take this game in consideration, and, you know, of course we're going to see some new faces. That's a definite must here for them Wildcats.
So the Wildcats now with free substitution going on. We'll try to get to the name. Motion by Fogg to give us to Fogg. No, Teague keeps. Teague tries the right side, and Teague, nothing there for Teague. He's going to be brought down by.
That was Tyler Fogg right there taking that direct.
Number 18 for the Wildcats on the tackle.
Number 18 for the Wildcats is nobody other than Jordan Espinoza.
Jordan Espinoza is senior.
So you got a chance to see a lot of these kids that are on the varsity level now, right, Ron? They came through the JV program.
They came through the JV level, and, you know, like Simon was saying, you know, this is the deal. You know, we lost a lot of seniors last year to graduations, and, you know, rebuilding it with juniors that were juniors on the JV last year, kids that never played before. Now they're playing again, Jordan Espinoza being one of them. He also has brother Jacob Espinoza on the team. So here we go. Doubles on both sides. Running back is number 25. That's Moises Altamirano. That's a give out to Fogg, I believe.
Yeah, and that's right there. That was form tackling. We're looking at number 26 coming in there, and that's Jacob Serrano coming in there. That's a picture-perfect tackle right there. Something we talked about, there was no wrapping going on. Serrano was in there to get low and being able to wrap, and that way that running back wasn't going anywhere to get them.
Right, and Jacob Serrano is one of those kids, a senior. You know, he's developed over the years, and he's turning into a good, solid football player.
And that's what you want out of the
Yes,
players.
you
Look,
do. Yes,
do
you
your
do.
job, be consistent. We can depend on you.
And, you know, Jacob will be getting rotations in with that first team, pretty sure. So here we go. We have a third down and 12. Doubles on both sides, single back. That's 25, Altamirano. Teague is the quarterback, number 6. Teague looks, shoots it to the right. He's open. That's Fogg, 8. Good reception. Missed tackle. And he's going to be short of maybe by half a yard. Brought down by number 36 of the Wildcats.
Number 36, making sure that he stayed down, was Andrew Camilo, one of the youngest of the Camilo family, of the 3 boys. And once again, we had 2 tacklers there, Ron. And,
right.
and I'm going to stress on this. I really am. You know, that just hitting that ball player, that's not going to cut it, because you're not coming in there, 100 miles an hour to lay the wood down on them. You got to stop and wrap, because you have some quality receivers up there that are very athletic.
Yeah, and you can't mess around. I mean, if you want to really get real about it, you're looking at the Canyon Hill 1s versus the Brawley 2s at this point. But still, hey, if you're a 2, you want to show, hey, I have the ability to be a number 1. Altamirano to the right side of the line, and that's going to be a push for a first down inside Wildcat territory. Let's say the 45-yard line.
Altamirano just looks like a north and south ball carrier, huh, Ron?
Right. And that, I'm sorry, check that. It's still on the 49-yard line of the Rattlers. First and 10. Looking to cross into Wildcat territory with 8:57 remaining in the third quarter. We just started the second half. Wildcats in command. Looking to end the night on a 2-0 record, whereas the Rattlers will most likely end up 0-3 after tonight. As I said, they're in the Central League out of San Diego. They have Claremont, Hoover, San Diego, and Kearney in their conference. Teague, blitz by 52. Torrez, he shoots it over just to get rid of it, and you can't blame the kid trying to get rid of that ball, avoiding the sack.
Yeah, the thing was, he was lucky to get rid of it, because that ball had a little bit of air underneath it, and it's just he happened to throw it in a place where number 6 for the Wildcats was there. That's Joseph Ramirez. Wasn't able to get it, but yeah, just sometimes you count your prayers and you get lucky on that.
And applying the pressure was Nathan Torres, number 52, a junior.
Ojeda Industries, Tony and Patricia Ojeda, serving the Imperial Valley for all your industrial and agricultural needs, such as hydraulic service and repair, located at Brawley, 1698 Jones Street. One of our new sponsors, Ron, La Fonda Bar and Grill. Experience the vibrant flavors of Mexico at La Fonda Bar and Grill. From sizzling carne asada to mouth-watering enchiladas. 4th Street in El Centro.
I love La Fonda. Fake to Altamirano. T keeps it, rolls out to his right, maybe gains 2 or 3 yards. Now, are they in Wildcat territory? I would say yes with that spot, or right on the 50.
So, Ron, we're going to have the fortunate position that you and I and Coach Swearingen are in. We're going to get very good seats to be able to call a game for tomorrow night's Imperial game. And we're going to see, after seeing these Wildcats, we like to, talk about, hey, listen, they did this good, this team. Imperial did this, Brawley did this. It's always good to talk like that, because it's going to start to see where they're at, right, Ron?
Right. And, the matchup with Imperial and Cibola, well, that's who the Wildcats face next week, right? So, that's a kind of deal, like, you get to start comparing or sizing up things. And, I'm really interested to see what that offensive line of the Tigers look like.
Well, I've seen it. It's pretty impressive. They're big. They're big.
Big talk.
But, look, Imperial, when they played Hopeville, Ron, I was a little surprised by the halftime score, And then, of course, whatever Coach Shaw did, he turned it up and straightened it out at halftime. And that's what you're supposed to do. Look, that's just good coaching right there. Whatever he did. Look, listen, we're not playing our game. But credit to the Vikings at the same time, though. So we'll find out tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that game.
Altamirano takes it to the right side of his offensive line for a 1st and 10, 7:04 remaining. It's a 1st and 10 inside Wildcat territory. Let's give it at the 40-yard line.
So the Wildcat coaching staff, both Coach Rubio and Coach
Van
Diver, I mean, they must be pretty happy with that first half performance by the Wildcats. I mean, granted, I understand the caliber of team that they're playing, but still, to have very few mistakes, Ron, not bad.
Not bad. You know, and you're like you say, coaches, you know, you will find something that need to be worked on, but overall, you can't complain if you're the Wildcats. And, you know, on the other side of the ball, like we said, we don't know too much of the program with Canyon Hills. However, you know, they got ways to go. And but here's the deal. In football, you have to take care of your business. You know what I mean? And here's a key thing. It's a redundant phrase, but you can never lower yourself to your opponent's level at this time. You know, that's not good football, and the Wildcats right now are on course right now to do that, to succeed in what they need to do. And here's the plus side of this. You're getting reserves in. You're getting your backups in. Teague with the fake to Altamirano. He's going to his left. He has some speed. Shot down, missed tackle. That looks like number 56, Will, of the Wildcats.
Number 56 coming in there to make tackle, and that's Fernando Avina.
Avina, senior.
So what I'm doing right now, Ron, is I'm looking to see where the Wildcats are according to Max Preps. Now,
I had them at last I checked, they were 7 in D2.
Okay, so yeah, I checked before the Tuesday. So when you're looking at Division II rankings in San Diego, you know, Point Loma's still up there, number 1. You got Del Norte, number 2, La Jolla, number 3, and then you have the Spartans at number 4.
Whoa.
Of course, that's where the Spartans want to stay at, because that's the top 4 teams get a bye in the first half. And as I scroll down, you got number 14, Brawley at 14 with at 16-team Division II, Ron.
Brawley's at 14?
Brawley is at 14, yes.
Whoa.
Now,
Teague's looking to run. He's going to look for a receiver. Wasn't open, and that's Teague for you. Look at that missing breaking tackles left and right. Works his way all the way up to, I'm going to say maybe the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that's just his athletic ability, you know, never giving up, not letting a fumble that was returned for a TD get him down or nothing like that. Ron, let's go back to this Max Preps deal. Now, Max Preps, it is what it is. I'm just telling you what Max Preps says.
Sure.
But this is what's an interesting thing about Max Preps. Brawley will be down at University City in two weeks, and right now University City is 0-2, and they're ranked 6, Ron. So those are the kind of things that I find kind of interesting.
I wonder who University City lost to other than Mission Bay.
So when I look at that, I'll let you know right now.
Yeah. And here's the thing with rankings, you know, everything goes out the window when you play the game. But it does set up, you know, the people who do give. And here goes Teague. Teague's going to walk in for a touchdown. So with 4:11 remaining in the third quarter, Teague takes the – was this the opening possession? I'm not so sure. Sorry about that, folks. But with 4:11 remaining, Teague takes it in. So the Wildcats now.
Well, what happens is if they had a running clock, which it didn't.
It's not.
No, it's not a running clock. But what I was going to say when it comes to the running clock is that even though if it was running right now and they scored 13, to make it less than 40 points, it would still keep running. So it's pretty obvious to us that the score, I mean, it is not a running clock. And, Ron, let me go back to that point. You said who they lost to. With the score of 41-25, they lost to La Costa Canyon.
Ooh, LCC.
Yes, that's one of the top 3 programs,
right.
top 4, top 5 programs in San Diego County,
My
Ron.
Lord.
So that's why they're ranked where they're at and being 0-2 still.
And, you know, that's kind of like the formulas that a lot of the common fan doesn't know about, like how these are calculated, how these rankings are calculated. It's not only by your play on the field, just win or loss, but it's the strength of your schedule.
Yeah, and I'm big on that.
And yeah, you know, and you know what? That kudos to the programs that, you know, hey, let's play some big guys. Let's play some tough, you know, let's see where we stand with the big boys.
So I'm going to try to explain what Ronnie means. And I know most of our audience understands that. But for some of our audience that don't, what Ronnie's trying to say is that Brawley would get more points playing La Costa Canyon and losing to them than they would beaten this Division IV Canyon Hills team.
Right.
So it's a point system. So the stronger your opponent is, the more points you get. Now, if you win, it really puts you over.
Yes.
But you know what? It is what it is. You're supposed to beat a Division IV team.
Right.
And look, that La Costa Canyon's supposed to beat Brawley, but if Brawley, for example, beats La Costa Canyon, I mean, they don't play each other, but that's what Ronnie's trying to get.
Right.
You get more points for the strength of schedule that your opponent is. I know I might have missed.
But that's right. I mean, that's basically that is the formula, and it's well deserved for teams that do schedule tough non-league games, because you're going to play your league. You're going to play your Brawley's going to play Central. There's Southwest, Calexico, Imperial. I mean, those are your that's your league play there, but here that's the importance of non-league games. Your little squib kick, not sure if that's intended, and let's see who picks that up. That's Brandon Porras returning the kickoff.
No.
Brandon Porras picks it up, and Brandon Porras may take it all the way, cuts back. He's going to try to weave his way through and takes it all the way up to the 30.
Oh, Brandon Porras, man. I mean, he's just a playmaker, Ron. Somebody that is obviously going to be noticed by every one of Brawley's opponents. Lucky Marcus Cook, number 2, was there to make the tackle. If not, Brandon Porras was
almost added to his 2 touchdown receptions that he already had. He had 2 touchdown receptions in the first quarter. Zane Richards had a rushing touchdown. Matthew Moreno had a 48-yard rushing touchdown. Then Alec Valdez with the pick 6.
And as we look at a timeout right now, one of our key sponsors is for tomorrow's night. It's a big supporter of the Imperial Valley, and especially, it's an injury. It's not a timeout. It's an injury right now. So Imperial Flying Service, the Larry Cox family is a proud supporter of VSN, taking care of the Imperial Valley with all your aviation fuel needs. Proud supporter of our U.S. military, Imperial Valley communities. And we cannot forget Imperial County Public Health Department. The mission of Imperial County Public Health Department is to promote, protect, and support the health of people, the environment in our communities. One of our key sponsors, as we see him. Hey, that's always good to see him. He was also the one to be able to run off this field. So once again, we get a little off track, but that's what happens when the score is 47-14. And it's not only that, but Ron and I like talking Imperial Valley football.
Right.
I know that the main focus is always on the team that's in front of us, but it's always good to know what's going on with whether it's Calexico, John Moreno, and Vic Carrillo, covering those games mostly in the South End. Hopeville, we got to see Hopeville twice this year, which is very exciting. Nice. Southwest, new coach, Coach Blinko. So there's some positive things. It seemed to turn it around after the first week's loss to Hopeville. So some good things happening.
Good things happening, and here comes Alec Valdez with the read. Valdez pulls. I'm pretty sure that is Valdez, number 9, trying to make things happen. He's going to run all the way, bulldozes his way for a first down. They're going to mark it inside the 15, let's say the 13-yard line. So with 3:46 remaining, Wildcats again on the drive for another touchdown. Valdez and the Wildcats now substituting freely.
So when you talk about Alex Valdez right there, what grade is he in, Ryan?
Alec Valdez is a junior.
Okay, so you could tell he ran like a junior right there, and obviously he played quarterback at the lower levels right there. But he ran with confidence, Ron.
He's a confident kid. He's an athletic kid, good-sized kid, son of Mark Valdez, who was a Brawley Wildcat quarterback back in the day. And Valdez is a smart kid. He's a junior, he's a starter on defense. Here's the give to number 35. That's Roman Britton. Roman Britton all the way to the 3. Now, Roman Britton is a junior. JV kid who's up there. And Roman on a good carry there. Inside the 5, we'll say the 3. So the clock is running on a run play, of course.
2:47, the clock ticking.
So, yeah, we're back to your point of Imperial Valley football, man. This is the best time of year. I mean, just reading that review on Ivy Press a couple weeks ago, opens the door to let's see what the kids have this year in the Imperial Valley. A lot of interesting things happening. New coaches. And it's always good to see how programs replace what they've lost. That's a big thing that I like looking at on teams. How well do you fill the holes that are left by graduation and whatnot?
One of the things that VSN wants to focus as a point of emphasis this year is we're going to start focusing on the ASB student sections.
Nice.
We're doing a little bit with Brawley. We did a little bit last week with Central, and one of our correspondents, Alexandra Saragosa. She's
very good. She's really good at what she does.
Very energetic. She's going to be in charge of that. So we look to see her tonight at Imperial.
Valdez, sorry about that. Will Valdez with the fake to Britain and nothing doing. They don't bite on that. Maybe lose. Yeah, he's going to lose a few yards on that. So number 55 of the Rattlers, that's going to be Drake.
El Centro Police Department, dedicated for service, community partnership, professionalism, uncompromising excellence, quality of life, protection, and service is their commitment. And our live stream sponsor could not be more thankful for Dr. Johnson. Imperial Valley College, founded in 1962, proud sponsor of VSN's live stream for all Imperial Valley school sports. IVC, fostering excellence in education for over 60 years. Not only that, but the number one community college in the nation.
Amazing,
IVC.
Amazing. Great job.
Under the leadership of Dr. Johnson, doing a great job. Got to meet him up front, had a conversation, had a meeting with them, all positive. A couple of his staff was with us, Demo being one of them. And, the athletic director, Lechuga there, I like what IVC is doing, Ron. I like everything about it because they're positive and there wants to be a focus on the high school sports because, listen, their thinking is, hey, listen, we got sports. There's no reason to travel elsewhere. Get your general education here and play some sports. And I think it's positive, and I like the way IVC is upping their interest in the high school sports here.
And they should do that. I mean, the Valley has a lot of talent. I mean, you and I are ex-Arabs.
Yeah.
We had a blast playing football there. I mean, I know I did. It was, it was a great experience. And, it's too bad that we don't have a football team. What is the new I was going to say everybody's an ex-Arab now because they're not Arabs no more. And I know that they went through a voting process, and it did come out. And I know the three of them, or two for sure, but I don't want to be mistaken calling them something else. Let's not call it. So here we go with a third down, and let's go Valdez. Valdez trying to get it up there. Valdez will get to the 6-yard line, making it a 4th and goal at the 5. Outside the 5, let's say the 6.
Driscoll's serving the Imperial Valley since 1979. They take great pride in the years of excellence, quality of custom, silkscreen, embroidering, and Letterman jackets. Stop by their location at 1470 West State Street in El Centro. New sponsor, South Cali Air. With all your air conditioning and also being your #1 York dealer in Imperial Valley. Contact them today for all your AC and heater needs. Infinity Mortgage. Call Zena Sanchez to find the best loan situation that suits your family needs.
Valdez again, give to Roman. Well, Britton, no, he keeps it, and he's going to be tackled by number 42 of, that is Marcus Harmon. So a tackle by Harmon. It's going to make it a 4th and goal outside the 10.
And Ron, just to reaffirm, IVC is the Desert Warriors.
Who gave you that information? I know you remember that. I know that.
I had two of them. I just didn't know which one.
The Warriors? I like that.
Yeah. So
our Desert Warriors. I do like that.
Our production manager, as he likes being called, Joaquin Matus. So
and I just want to say to everybody out there, man, it's good to be back in the saddle again, man. I always look forward to football, coaching, but this VSN business, man, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun bringing to you these football games, and can't wait for tomorrow night.
Yeah, and like, Ron, we actually have a little bit of fun as we wind down the third quarter with less than 5 seconds to go. Brawley still gets it off.
And Valdez trying to use the speed that he really doesn't have outside, does not get there. So we're going to end the fourth quarter as a Wildcat stall outside the 10-yard line. So that being said, at the end of the third quarter, the Brawley Wildcats 47, Canyon Hills Rattlers 7.
We'll be right back after this.
InnerCare since 1970. When it comes to healthcare, InnerCare is here to help, with locations throughout the Imperial Valley. InnerCare, improving the health and wellness of the community.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Lee Tire Company. We are a local, family-owned business specializing in tires and automotive needs. We are located at 114 Main Street, El Centro. Call us at 760-352-17.
Welcome back to Warne Field, where the Brawley Wildcats have a 47-7 lead as we start the fourth quarter. Back to Will Torrez.
Well, the thing that happened, Ron, with that, talking about other subjects, IBC Desert Warriors, Brawley was not able to capitalize on that last reading as we see the Rattlers taking over on the offensive side of the ball.
We give to Altamirano. Altamirano, big-looking kid out there, number 25, bulldozes his way, gains a good 5 yards on that play, 2nd down and 5.
Ronnie, have we seen Altamirano play a little bit of defense? Because he looks like that linebacker.
He looks like a linebacker kid. Yeah, no, we have not seen him. It looks like hopefully that's not him on the ground, maybe a cramp.
Yeah, hopefully that's all it is. Desert RV and Towing, locally owned by Joel Gonzalez and family, wish all Valley teams a successful school year. Services include 24-hour towing and off-road recovery. Contact Joel at 760-344-9200. Imperial Irrigation District, your supplier of water and energy. Focus as we look. Okay, hopefully that's all it is. We're not here to judge what's going on. But Imperial Irrigation North End District, where they supply from half of the Imperial Valley. We'd like to say a little shout out to that North crew headed over there by Mr. Pancho Perez down there. So a lot of good things happening in the North End when it comes to the IID construction and maintenance crew. Casbros. Visit Casbros Design Shop, where they offer trophies, awards, custom T-shirts, and embroidery, signs, banners, and everything else fit to need your needs. Located in Brawley, give them a call at 760-550-6878. And as we take a little bit of break, we're going to go to commercial right now, and we'll be right back after this.
Lee Tire Company. We are a local, family-owned business specializing in tires and automotive needs. We are located at 114 Main Street, El Centro. Call us at 760-352-1721.
Marianne Valenzuela Fenley is your State Farm insurance agent in the Imperial Valley. And like a good neighbor, she's located at 528 G Street in Brawley. Call State Farm agent Marianne Valenzuela Fenley at 760-344-0447 for your home, auto, and life insurance.
Keystone HR Employer Services. Real business solutions that make economic sense. For free business evaluations, call 760-427-2878. JJ's Tires, 24-hour road service. New tire sales service located at 199 Main Street. You cannot miss JJ's Tires, right in the smack of downtown Westmoreland to say. And you know what? The Jimenez family has been in the tire business for years. Just a hard-working family. JJ's kind of taking over the business for his dad, so it's good to see him come on board. Congratulations. He's actually retired from the state system, so he's helping out the whole family business. Good for them. You can give JJ a call at 760-455-3109. With 11:41 to go, still in the fourth quarter, big lead for the Wildcats, putting in. And look, this is exactly what the Wildcats have to do when the people substituting them in, Ronnie. They have to step it up because look,
here's the deal: when you're a 2, as we say in the coaching ring circle, is when you're a number 2 and you get a chance to play, you have to prove, hey, I could be a 1. And so let's see what the Wildcats have. We have doubles on both sides. Is there a change at quarterback? No, Teague is still the quarterback. And here you go. You're pulling for kids to do well when they're out there. Now here's your chance. You're out there. You're playing the whole quarter. Let's see what you have.
Well, the enthusiasm and the fire in the coaches hasn't let down one bit. I'll tell you that much. It doesn't matter who's in there, right, Ron?
That's right. So 3rd down and 4 for the Rattlers, 11:16 remaining. I wonder what their nickname was last year. And as we went, they were Sarah High. I just wonder what their mascot was.
Well, like
they
Simon
did a whole
said,
change over.
They did a whole change on everything. They just, I don't know. I thought they might have went to a charter school or nothing, but no, Simon just, like he said, they wanted a whole regime change on there. Interesting. We don't see that too often, though, huh, Ron?
No, we don't see that too much. And whatever the reason was, it was. And here we are, Canyon Hill Rattlers with a 3rd down and 4. Teague rolls to his left, gets a little bit of pressure. He's going to try to bounce back out to the outside. He finds a way out.
Oh, that's going to be a penalty right there. That's going to be a
I did not see that.
Blindside block. And I'd like to replay that to show the people what that block is right now. I mean, that's one of the new rules that came into effect a couple of years ago. If we take a look right here, we'll see quarterback roll out, and then you're going to see – I can't
26.
See and boom, there. See? And right away, that's an automatic call. It's a safety rule. It's a great call. Everybody needs to get on top of that because that is the correct call. Look, we're not here. The referees aren't here to they're here to enforce the penalties is what it is.
Holding. They called a holding on there.
They called a holding?
Yes, they called a holding. So.
Well, I'm not going to say that the holding wasn't there. What I'm going to say is that it looked – it looked like a
blindside defensive player. What do you call that? What's the technical term for it?
It's a personal foul, blindside block. I don't know. I just know that it looked. Whatever.
3rd down and 4. Teague shoots it out. Teague looking for Fogg, incomplete. 4th down. No flags on the field. So 4th down with 10:23 remaining. The clock stops on an incomplete pass. We're now looking at a 4th down and 3.
Hart Insurance, your full-service insurance agency offering customized protection throughout California and Arizona. We have a heart for personal service. Give us a call at 760-344-1400. I got that number down pat, Ron. For many years, over 30 years, they've been my insurance company. Johnny's Burritos. You talk about a tradition started by Johnny and Maria. They date back since 1963. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to serving you and your family for many years to come. From all the Palomino and Mendez families.
4th down, Will, and they're going to go for it. So 4th down with 10:23 remaining. Teague is your quarterback. Teague's looking. He has double receivers on both sides. He may run this. He may try to get it with his wheels. And does he get it? He gets it.
He gets it, Ron, but still, what do you got to lose?
Nothing at all.
No. You know what? At least they're not. Hey, look, the coach is saying we're not going to use the running clock. Let's just improve ourselves. Let's get better every week.
And that's what you have to do at this point. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, their last 2 games, they lost 40-21 to Santana, 55-0 to El Cap. And here's, I say it over and over again, football is a week-to-week business. You have to get better at all spots, man. And if you can fix one area in 1 week, that's a plus for you. You can't ignore your problems. You have to face it. And, hey, Teague on film, he's athletic, man. He can throw the ball and he can run. So hopefully, down the road when they get into conference play, they do well.
Yeah, especially being Division IV, you say, right?
Right. So 9:40 remaining. Teague looking. Teague's going to throw. No, he tucks it back in. He's still looking. He throws. Wide open is number 1. That's Tez Reed, I'm sorry. Tez Reed up to the 50. First and 10 for the Rattlers.
You know what's been a challenge, and that we've done other games, and this one's been a challenge because usually when we see a lopsided score like this, we actually know both teams like that. So good job on a little bit of history on the Rattlers right here being – they used to be Sierra. I'm not even sure how many years ago that they changed the name.
It's been a while, right.
Yeah. So, we a lot of history on the Wildcat side. The Rattlers, well, a little bit different as they look like a very young team willing to improve a lot.
Need to compete, and that's what you have to do in football, compete. So Teague is still in.
Yeah, but they do look like a Division IV team. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir, they do.
Yeah.
And they probably will do well in their conference. So here's Teague, motion by Fogg, fake to Fogg, and there's Teague again. Teague is going to take it up to, who is that, number 13?
Number 13 for the Wildcats coming in there and make the tackle.
Gato.
Is Ornales.
Gato Ornales. First and 10 for the Rattlers inside the Wildcat 35, let's say the 34-yard line. The Wildcats again next week will have Cibola. Where do they play Cibola?
Here at home. The Wildcats will be playing Cibola at home. And one of the things I need to mention is the reason that we don't put a schedule out at VSN, as Ron knows and everybody in here knows, is because the teams change, because the games are, because the shortage of referees, or for whatever reason, as we see number 8 for the Rattlers.
That's Fogg, and tackled by Jordan Espinoza, number 18.
Jordan Espinoza. They changed, Ron, as you know. You know, this game right here was moved up, gave us an opportunity. We had Brawley for this game anyways, but it gave us an opportunity for, like I said earlier, for us to go down to Imperial and cover a game against the Cibola Raiders. So that'll be tomorrow, and that's a different start time too. That's a 7:30 start time. So that'll be interesting. And then we'll see Vic Carrillo, John Moreno. They will be traveling to Ramona, where the El Centro Spartans take on the Ramona Bulldogs, which is a
rematch of last year's quarterfinal or semi?
Rematch.
No, the semifinal, wasn't it?
Semifinal, yeah.
Semifinal. Motion by Fogg and penalty on the play.
And as I said earlier, I'll tell you what, is we have illegal movement against the offense. That'll move them back 5 yards, making it 7 and about 13, second down and about 13 yards to go. So with 6:50 to go, Ron, it's been an interesting evening. I'm sure the coaching staff, they did what they're supposed to do. That's what they wanted them to do on the offense and the defense. And, little mistakes, but very few mistakes.
Fake to Fogg. Teague looks, throws a fade up. Wide open is number 1, Tez Reed. And that's a thing when you're trying to get back into a ball game, or at least make something out of the night. You need to make those plays. And that's probably something that's been going on for the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
So Tez Reed wishes he had that one back. Incomplete, second down and 13.
Once again, Reach Medical Service. When second counts, Reach Medical Service is there to help. Ojeda Industries for all your industrial and agricultural needs. Imperial Flying Service, proud supporter of U.S. military. Imperial County Public Health Department, supporting the health of the people. El Centro Police Department, service is our commitment. Imperial Valley College, excellence in education, #1 community college in the nation.
Rattlers, yard marker says third down. I see second down on the scoreboard. Trips, timeout.
Oh, they were taking a little bit too long, but.
Well, it's not what It's not what Coach wanted out there, Coach Marcus Cook. He was calling a timeout. Hey, man, that's good coaching right there. You know, you're going to you're at 5:22. He wanted a certain play ran. He wanted it ran right. Call a timeout. Let's see, make it happen.
And once again, none of this can be done without our great sponsors that are here to support us. Driscoll's, silk screen, embroidery, and all your Letterman jacket needs. South Cali Air, custom solutions for all your air conditioning and heating needs. Alfred Distributing Company, the good guys.
The good guys is Alfred.
Top-notch barber for your one-of-a-kind haircut. Prime Hydration, refresh, replenish, and refuel. Imperial Irrigation District. Marianne Valenzuela Feely, State Farm Insurance, Grosso's for all your fine Italian dining experience. Intercare, here to help with locations throughout Imperial Valley. And a big shout out to Intercare, which Yvonne Bell has so graciously helped out VSN. They are the proud supporter of the Girls Flag Football League. So, you know, big help to Yvonne Bell and her whole staff down there. The Dom Team for all your real estate needs. Burgers and Beer for the best burger in town. Havens Landscaping, specializing in gravel, rock, and stone landscaping. As we turn it back over to Ron for the play-by-play.
Third down and 13. It looks like we're going to have an illegal procedure. After the timeout, that's not what you want to have done.
It doesn't matter who's in there.
Yeah, you don't want it, but it might be on the Wildcats offside.
Oh, no. You got the coach going out to the numbers and
that's the thing, man. You want, like I said, the night is what it is. The results are what they are. But at this moment, that coach wanted that play ran perfect, the way it should be. Wants his team to execute. Third down and 9, 5:22 remaining in the fourth quarter. We have trips to the right, single back. Teague, fake to Altamore. No, that's 42. And Teague's going to look, and he was open. Shot it out to Fogg. Fogg, underthrown pass, a little bit of pressure. Fourth down and 9, 5:14 remaining.
Kind of surprising there, Ron, because, look, Teague was open, but he was pressured, but not being chased out of the pocket or nothing. This guy's got very good athletic ability.
He does, and it's going to be real interesting to see as the season goes on. How does he progress? How does this team progress? And guess what? It's not a bad start having a good quarterback like that.
No. Special thanks also to the Scared Realty Company, the original Town Pump, CR&R Incorporated Environmental Services, La Fonda Bar and Grill, South Cali Air, Desert RV, Service and Towing, JJ's Tire. Couldn't do it with all our sponsors. We're much appreciated, and VSN thanks every and each and one of them, every one of them.
Tough night for the Rattlers. Here comes Teague. He's beating pressure by Torrez. That's Nathan Torrez. Throws it up for grabs. Flag on the field.
Incomplete. I thought that he was already getting to turn the corner and run it the opposite direction after he missed that ball on the 10-yard line right there. Kind of overthrown a little bit, but still Rosas was able, probably should have made that catch.
Should have made the catch. Should have, could have, would have. Fourth down. What's the penalty on? Did he pass the line of scrimmage maybe? Let's see.
Let's see what Mr. Gene. We have pass interference against the Wildcats.
So that's going to be, 10 yards?
Negative.
And a first. No? 15?
That'll be 15 yards, yeah. So both teams get a little bit of sloppy, but that, I'm not going to say, look, Ron, you have a lot of substitutions in. I'm not too sure about the Rattlers, but I know the Wildcats do. And still, the coaches still don't want to see that, but that could happen.
You don't.
Because you never know when they're going to call your number, Ron.
Exactly right. Here's the deal. For the kids that are in there right now, you want to develop right now. It's game time. This is what you live for. This is what you practice for. You're in there. Make some plays. Do not cut down on your mistakes. So here goes Teague. Doubles on both sides. Teague's looking to his right. He shoots it to his left. Wide open is Fogg. And he drops it. So that's 2 drop passes.
On this series right
here.
On
the series. And that's the thing. And that's why sometimes that's why you're 0-2 at this point. Second down and 10, incomplete pass, second drop pass of the night.
One thing I've noticed on the Brawley sidelines, Ron, there's more interaction with the coaching staff, with the assistant coaches. They're more involved.
Well, you have more than just your regular 4 or 5 coaches. You got guys, making the rounds, working with your groups, and just remind, Teague with the broken play. Teague's going to find his way up. And that guy is, I don't know how he slithers away and he gets through broken tackles. He's not very thick. I mean, he's a fit kid, but you wouldn't think he could break tackles like he does. And it's not whether he's breaking them. It's a combination of breaking them and maybe some poor tackling.
Well, he's very elusive, but he proved that in the first half when they had the
yes,
ones.
Yes, he did.
They're not called ones no more. Is Brawley football calling them blue and gold now, or was
you could do? Yeah, they've gone to the color code system: blue, gold, 1s and 2s. So the Wildcats now have the Rattlers at their 5-yard line, knocking on the door. 3:11 remaining and ticking. So are the Rattlers going to punch it in? It's 47-14. I've been 47-7. But it is 47-14. 3 minutes exactly remaining. First and goal at the 5, motion by. And the give is to number 42. That is number 42 for Marcus Harmon.
Touchdown.
Did he get in?
Rattlers, yeah, he got in.
So Marcus Harmon, the senior, gets in on a 5-yard dive play. So with 2:43 remaining, the score now is Wildcats 47, Rattlers 20.
Just a little inside handoff right there. Give it to the guy that only goes north and south, Ron.
He's also an inside linebacker. He's a starter for Marcus Harmon is an inside linebacker and fullback.
Well, he reminds us of the back in the day. You guys just love those shoulder pads,
yeah,
Ron.
Nice shoulder pads. Into kick now for the extra point is Joseph Yankowski. Third touchdown of the night for the Rattlers. Comes at the 2:43 mark of the fourth quarter. As we said, the Wildcats will be at home next week against Cibola. We will be covering Cibola Imperial, and the kick is up, and it is good.
So, with the Rattlers scoring on that play, making the score 21-47, and not giving up. Now, it is what it is. They're going against the gold 2s, whatever it is. But listen, man, the game's got to be played till the last seconds ticked off the clock there, Ron. So, glad to have you back. Glad to have you back, Ron. As I said earlier, it's kind of odd. I mean, it's our third week in, and this is our first opportunity to be together. So welcome back.
I'm still looking for the reason why I was put on the bench, but I'll never find out. But that'll work. 2:43 remaining in the fourth quarter. And that just.
You got to talk to what do they call him? The Godfather, the shot caller. I'll talk to him.
That's responsibility. So here we are, but glad to be back, man. And I'm glad, just the Imperial Valley, we have good football here, and that's the deal. We're just really proud of bringing it to you. And this is kind of funny. In the beginning of the year, in the beginning of the season, you're going to have a lot of these blowouts. You're going to have some of these blowouts. You're not going to have good matches until the mid part of the season when teams are rolling, teams are finding themselves. And here's a kick by Yankowski, squibber down the middle. Is this J.D. Arianes, who almost busted one, and he may do it. J.D. Arianes making it a little bit exciting, gets it into Rattler territory. I'm going to say the 45-yard line.
Not before he was pushed out.
Pushed out, and Arianes, did you see how patient he was? Waiting for that wall, return left, trying to get it behind that wall. He did it.
Brandon Duke was able to push him out because if not, he only
had
the kicker to hold him back.
So the Wildcats now with 2:33 remaining. Interesting to say, ball's going to be ran for sure.
And I think it's a situation now where it's not a victory formation situation, but it's one of those, let's just run in between
the two
tackles.
And if you can block, and I'm telling you guys, right now, this is still a game for the kids that are in there. You're an offensive lineman. Do I go to my blocks? Do I know my plays? And let's see what the Wildcats do. Roman Britton is the running back. They may be short a guy. I'm not too sure. Valdez at the quarterback.
Yeah.
They give us to Britton. Britton's going to get gobbled up. Nice tackle there.
Well, let's see if a blue uniform runs in there right now, because I counted 10, but I could be incorrect. Nope. Now, but they took one out.
Robert Chong on the tackle, number 79. Good solid tackle by Chong. Second down and lost a yard on that. Second down and 11. Ball is placed at the 46-yard line of the Rattlers. 2:08 remaining and ticking.
No, that was just Valdez getting the play in from Van Diver there. So they were short one man. I don't know if that had anything to do with the loss of about half a yard on that. But one guy always makes a difference, especially if it's an offensive lineman.
.142 remaining. Second down and 11 for the Wildcats. Trips to the right. Now there's a little, then there's Chong again, number 79, assisted by number 11. That's Josiah Strother. Another loss. So a loss of maybe 4 more. Timeout Rattlers. Hey, they're not giving up. They want that ball back. They want to get some points on there.
Yeah, they want to keep that offense
Yeah,
going.
well, you know what? It's a situation. You're going to be in a situation, the time's running out. You want that ball back. Here's the time. This is a scenario you're working on.
All right. And as we look at this timeout, VSN will be right back after this.
At Burgers and Beer, our customers are like family. Let's hear what a few of them have to say about us.
We're here at Burgers and Beer with the best burgers in town.
We get to sit together and enjoy the great food.
I like from Burgers and Beers and the lemonade.
For the fresh iced tea, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
It was wonderful, very fast, very efficient.
I love the great food and family environment.
I love the burgers and the customer service.
So come and see us and find out for yourself at Burgers and Beer.
Back to Warne Field with 1:22 remaining in a game where the Wildcats of Brawley have a 47-21 lead over the Canyon Hill Rattlers. Will, it's been a Wildcat, dominant since kickoff. Let's put it to you that way.
So, thank you, Robert Cortez. Jupiter Sierra Mesa High School. They were the Conquistadores, now the Rattlers. Yeah.
Nice.
So there's a little bit of history on that. Ask a question and our viewers will reply.
So we have a third down and 15 for the Wildcats. Valdez on the keeper to the left. Valdez following a block by Roman Britton. Valdez bulls his way forward. And let me tell you, Valdez is a very good, he knows how to run the football. He's a great receiver. And right now he's currently serving as backup to Matthew Gutierrez. We're going to have a 4th down and 3 for the Wildcats. And another Rattler down.
Yeah, and then.
Do you have any more sponsors you'd like to thank for giving us this great opportunity to do the things we love to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, we love to do it because it keeps us not only motivated, it keeps VSN going. Brawley Police Foundation. Join the Brawley Police Foundation to support a safe community through partnership with the police. Our goals include canine support, technology, youth program, crime prevention. Follow them at Brawley Police Foundation for more information. Prime Hydration with flavors to refresh, replenish, and refuel. Prime is the perfect boost for any endeavor.
Okay.
With confidence, you'll love it as much as we do. Brought to you by the Alfred Distributing family.
So what kind of drink is that? An energy drink?
No, it's a sports drink, It's they have all kinds of flavors on there. We have a very good promotion on the ad. RDO, minimize your downtime and protect your equipment investment. Stop by the Imperial headquarters located at 3275 Highway 86. Can't miss it with all those John Deere equipment, construction equipment sitting out there for showing. Can't forget Big Chris for big fades, always a cutaway. Visit Top Notch Barbershop in El Centro. Good old Chris. We got something special coming up with Chris we're working on. It's going to be pretty fun.
It should be good.
Yeah, it should be in a couple of weeks. We already just haven't nailed down the time, but it's going to happen around the start of the regular season.
And you know what? That's a great environment, man. If you just don't even need a haircut, but just walk in there one of these days and just see what – I mean,
well, we do. That's what makes it fun.
It's a really cool thing, and it's a good vibe there. So here we go. Wildcats now 4th down and, let's say, a long one. Valdez with Britton in the backfield. 59 seconds remaining. Will the Wildcats run another play? And they do have to run a play, right?
Yes.
This may be the last run from scrimmage, and Valdez being harassed. That's number 55. And did he fall forward?
I don't
think he made it. And a great tackle there by Drake Latham.
52 seconds ago, and the Rattlers.
And they got the ball back. They got
Rattlers.
the ball. And that's what they were calling those timeouts, so they could get the ball back, and let's see what they can do. So with 52 seconds remaining, the Rattlers will take over. The ball is at the 36-yard line of their own territory.
Grosso's, an Imperial Valley tradition since 1955. Family owned and operated and located at 1902 West Main Street in El Centro for the fine Italian dining experience. Intercare, as I mentioned before, proud supporter of the Girls Flag Football League. Thank you for Yvonne Bell, Intercare, located throughout the Imperial Valley. Intercare. The Dom team, for all your real estate needs, give Doug and Andrew a call, 760-337-8600, as we wind out the end of the ball game with 52 seconds to go.
52 seconds remaining. 1st and 10 for the Rattlers at the 36-yard line. Teague back, empty backfield. That means no one's back there. And Teague tosses it up, intended for number 15. And it's caught! Caught by number 15, and he fumbles it out of bounds. That is Jaden Smith. So Jaden Smith with the catch, gets it out of bounds. And so now we have 41 seconds remaining. The ball is now inside the 10-yard line. Put it at the 7-yard line. 41 seconds remaining. I'm wondering how many timeouts does Canyon have? 1 timeout remaining.
IB Welding and Mechanical, industrial welding contractor serving the geothermal and all industrial facilities in Imperial Valley. Give Fred a call at 760-483-WELD, W-E-L-D.
So here we go. 1st and goal at the 5. Wildcat defense does not want to give up another touchdown. Teague looking to his right. Teague may run it in. Teague pumps it, and he will run in for a touchdown.
Oh,
so
no. Yeah, definitely.
He's in, right?
Yeah, no, he's definitely in. And as we take a look right here, him throwing, you can just tell. Look, just that little juke he did at the end right there, Ron. That's just, if there's a bright spot on this Rattlers team,
right.
He's
and that's like I said, man. If you're going to start somewhere, start with that quarterback. And Teague, I'm not sure what grade the kid is in, but he's there. He just give the guy some protection. And as we said before, your whole football team success depends on your offensive line. I'll stick with that till I die. So here we go. Yankowski for the kick. The hold is by number 8, Tyler Fogg. Tyler Fogg's he had a good night tonight. And Fogg on the fake. Fogg's looking, does a jump pass, and it's a 2-pointer. Give Fogg 2-pointer to Tez Reed. Kind of makes up for the drop pass. 2-point conversion. At first, I thought he was a lineman in the end zone. So 47-29. And what is the debate? It's a 2-point catch. It's a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. He has a receiver number. It was legal.
Yeah. As long as he has a receiver number, he's going to be legal. And, Ron, to answer your question, Teague is a junior. So he will be coming back right here.
Nice. Good to hear that. So Teague, hopefully, and well wishes to this team that came all the way down here. Hey, I bet you of all those people, of all the players that came down, the adults, they probably never faced weather like this before unless they have relatives down here. Came down here, traveled down here. And guess what? Positive side, this is the most points they've scored all year long.
Yeah.
29 points. 18 and a half seconds remaining.
And if you go back to the first half, Ron, you would have never thought that the Rattlers were going to score 29 points against these Brawley Wildcats.
And, and I think it's been kind of like the same. Watching film on them, they've gotten behind early in the game, and by halftime, the teams that they played have, taken the foot off the pedal there. So with 18 and a half seconds, we're probably going to get the kickoff return and maybe one play or just a victory formation.
Probably a victory formation right now because, look, it's time, Ron. It's just time. That's all I can say. Look, let's just they get the ball, avoid any
injuries, any
fumbles,
anything like that. Just shut it down. Maybe they're going to do. And here's
they might onside kick,
and
Ron.
They will. And great execution by the Wildcats. Let's go number 10, Roy Rosas. So Rosas recovers for the Wildcats at the 45-yard line with 17.8 seconds remaining. This night will do it. The Wildcats did what they had to do tonight.
No, they did, and I'll tell you what, the score being 40-something to I think either 6 or 0, they're going to wind the clock and let it die out right there.
Yeah, that's what they do. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for listening in, watching us tonight. And with that said, catch us tomorrow night in Imperial. We'll be back on Imperial versus Cibola.
So Ron and I will be right back after this, a little recap of the game and interesting thoughts and a little bit about tomorrow's game. So stay tuned. Right after this, we'll be right back.
Ojeda Industries is here to offer solutions with exceptional products and services for all your agricultural, industrial, and power transmission needs. It's Ojeda Industries, hydraulic repair service in Brawley at 1698 Jones Street. Call us at 760-623-7299.
Well, tonight the Wildcats were the victorious with a 47-29 win over the Canyon Hill Rattlers. The Wildcats next week will be back at home against the Cibola Raiders. It was a win by the Wildcats that was, from start to finish, a good product for the Wildcats. We wish all the best to the Canyon Hill Rattlers on their way home, and good luck for the rest of the season. We'll see you tomorrow night at Imperial High School as the Imperial Tigers take on the Cibola Raiders. We want to thank you everyone for tuning in, and this is VSN. We are out. Catch you tomorrow.